Michael, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best today. I'll be honest though.
About what?
I'm a little rough around the edges. I had a lot of recording to do last night. It went really late with Matt, and then after that, I drank a bunch of beer and watched Shang-Chi, and I'm just a little rough today. It's a little rough around the edges today.
I get it. I was gonna watch Shang-Chi earlier today and yesterday, but I've also been doing stuff nonstop for the entirety of the week except for yesterday.
Yeah.
So yesterday was the first time I just passed out for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still a little woozy from it all.
Okay, great. This sounds like a perfect combination. So welcome back, everybody, to the Rage Select podcast. Here, Rage Select. I'm Jeff,
and I'm Mike.
We got a whole smorgasbord of stuff to talk about today.
Indeed.
I don't know how it's going to go, but I know that everybody's talking about the Eternals, but I just got to watch Shang-Chi because I was not about to go to movie theaters to watch that movie.
I wanted to watch. I forgot that Shang-Chi came out on the Disney Plus until my Facebook feed was full of people going, I just watched Shang-Chi, and I'm like, oh, that's right, that did happen.
Yeah. So I was going to ask, okay, it was fine. It was like middle tier.
Okay.
But the thing is, I don't know how to describe this, Michael. I don't know. We may be going off on a weird rambly Jeff is too tired path here, but there was 4 or 5 different things in that movie that I was like, you guys had an opportunity to have some really interesting storytelling, but it's like you guys forgot how to make a movie. It's I mean, everybody's seen the trailers, right?
Yeah.
Like the guy, he's just in San Francisco, being a guy, and then I got dragged back into my life. But the fact that he's in San Francisco living his life at no point factors into the story. Usually if you had something like that, it would be this real world experience taught me the compassion that I need to overcome the final battle, right? Or it brought my hubris down, or it created a problem
Humility
that got solved
or something.
Yeah, and it didn't really there's this character. He's got this best friend that's his buddy.
Oh, Aquafina.
Yeah, they work as the valets. I couldn't stop thinking of the Key and Peele valets. they work as valets in San Francisco, and I guess at some point it's she wants to drive cars, and at one point in the movie it's now you have to drive a car, and she does it, and then it's over, and then it was just okay. And I'm like, if you brought this person with you, I feel like you should have something for them to do outside of just then I was there. The end. I don't know. And the Mandarin, we the trailers are there. The movie's on Disney Plus.
Well, we know who the Mandarin is. Yes.
Right. The 10 Rings. I'm not spoiling too much, but they established in the beginning that the Mandarin has been alive since feudal China, basically. Right.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
He's an immortal. Yeah. He just kind of acts like a medium tier villain with a relatable backstory. And I'm like, I kind of had this problem after listening to a podcast with these folks ripping apart the Old Guard. Remember that? Where it's
oh, yeah.
You'd think a person that has been alive for 10,000 years, and according to the backstory of the Mandarin, has conquered everything that he's ever wanted to conquer, rules the world from the shadows, and has his own army of super assassins, wouldn't just kind of be a regular evil guy doofus? You figured you'd have a different class of person if you'd been alive since feudal China and had seen the world evolve.
No, I get it. Yeah,
outside of just then we will attack and I will take what is mine, and it's you've been alive for a long fucking time, man.
It's funny. I feel like I understand that sort of character being alive for a long time more with the characters from What We Do in the Shadows than I do a lot of times when somebody says they're like that, because they'll constantly bring up something they did from 400 years ago,
right? And
it just keeps adding to the fact that no, this guy's been around for a very, very long time.
No,
but you watch a movie where it's this guy's been around for thousands of years and he only brings up what happened last week,
right?
Kind of thing. And
yeah,
I don't have any sense that you've been around for this long.
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't. There was a nice. I won't spoil it. There was a nice appearance of a character that I was oh, that's cool.
Well, if anyone's curious, the short that precedes kind of that is on Disney Plus right now.
Oh, yeah.
It used to be the special feature for Thor: The Dark World.
Oh, okay.
I think it's called All Hail the King or All Hail King or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, there was some good stuff. The action was all right. It's just, it was I don't know. I guess I went back to some of the other Marvel movies, and I'm just it feels like you guys forgot how to make this thing. Like you just,
Well, all I've heard about Phase 4 is, because I've only watched one of the Phase 4 films. I actually have not seen Black Widow or Shang-Chi yet. Is that they're all fine.
Yeah,
like none of them are like this one's like the best one or whatever. They're all just like they're fine. Fine.
I put it low middle. I'd probably put it close. I put it down there with like Ant-Man and not. It's not as bad as Ant-Man 2 or Thor 2.
Okay,
but it's not quite as good as Ant-Man, and I don't think it comes anywhere near any of the like top tier stuff. Like it kind of down the Iron Man 2 area where it's like
that's pretty low.
It's fine. It's fine.
Iron Man 2 is a lot of people's most hated, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody that says Iron Man 2 is worse than Thor 2 is wrong.
That's the thing. The past 3 years, I've ran into just like all of a sudden everyone's like, Thor: The Dark World wasn't that bad.
No.
God. Like there's a few people I know that I'm just like, where did this come from? Like you guys never said this until all of a sudden, like a couple years ago.
No,
or not even.
Is this the same people that are just like, the prequels weren't that bad? Like, no, they were very bad.
I don't know. I haven't asked them about that part yet.
They were quite bad. I don't know. I didn't feel like it came up to the level of. It was fine, but it felt like they were checking a lot of boxes without thinking about how those, like, putting in a thing and then figuring out how that thing was going to connect to. Like, there's a character in the movie that's like this. I don't know if they were in the trailers. I don't even know if it's a man or a woman or what. It's like this ninja person with like a blue outfit, like this white mask.
Yeah, they're not in the trailers as far as I know. Well, they're somewhat, but it's like a quick thing. They don't really focus on that.
That character is like in the movie and it has nothing to do with anything. Like you could have taken that character out of the movie. There's actually a whole other character with a big weird laser machete hand that's like that guy could have been this guy and it would have been exactly the same story.
That guy's in the trailer.
There's absolutely nothing that this interesting looking ninja dude does or lady or whatever does that has anything to do with the movie. So why are you wasting time? And I don't know. Like there's also a plot point at the beginning with a postcard that doesn't make any fucking sense. And I'm just like, all right, it was fine. I got to the end of it and I was like, you guys were like 70% of the way to like one of my top 10 Marvel movies, but you just never tied it all together in a way that is emotionally satisfying. It's just a lot of like stuff. I bet that movie did really good in China, though.
I don't know. I actually didn't look into that. That's a good question.
A lot of interesting kind of like Asian mysticism and kind of Chinese iconography and stuff.
I'm glad they did the Mandarin eventually, though, because the Mandarin himself has always been a really interesting. He's a top tier Iron Man villain when he's not racist as hell, but yeah,
when he's not just Fu Manchu with a lot of rings on.
Yeah, when he's not that specific character, he's apparently pretty good.
What do you think about changing the rings to these armbands as opposed to like the ring rings?
I think it's fine because it's cool visually what they do with it from what I've seen.
I guess it's just like in the comic, like each ring does a different thing.
Yeah, each ring is like a specific like power kind of thing in the comic at least.
It's kind of like the Infinity Gauntlet, but like it's like a diet.
It's like a toned down.
Diet Infinity Gauntlet.
It's more like this one does fire, this one does ice, this one tells you the fuck off kind of thing.
Right.
Like shit like that.
Whereas in the movie, it's like they all just fly off and like smash shit and they fly back on. And it was like, I kind of like the idea of having, all these weird shit flying out of your hands. I don't know.
Yeah, that does sound like it would be cooler, but they probably couldn't figure out a good way of doing it or something during this time. I don't know. That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'd be really interested to know what happens when you get a chance to see it. What have you been up to over the last week, Michael?
I've been watching I did a lot of screenings this week.
Oh, okay.
I screened something. I screamed the new Disney animated film Encanto. Which is this musical.
Yeah, that looks great.
I'm not sure if I can talk about it yet, so I'm just going to leave it alone.
Oh, okay.
because Chris doesn't like for me to talk about stuff before the review comes out. The other one is this movie called Red Rocket with Simon Rex.
Okay.
That's this indie.
It's not about
film.
dog erections.
No, it's about a guy. It's made by the guy who did the Florida Project.
I don't know what that is.
It's that film with William Dafoe in that hotel near Disney World or whatever that everyone was raving about.
No, I have absolutely no idea. No,
he also apparently made Greg the Bunny, but his movies since Greg the Bunny apparently have been like very like artsy. But this one I don't know if I'm also allowed to talk about, but I'm just gonna say the synopsis of it. I'm gonna say the synopsis of it real quick because of what I find interesting about it.
Okay,
is that it's about a guy who he used to be he was a porn star in L.A. that is forced back to his hometown in Texas City.
Okay.
And so he has to like figure out living there, and he's staying with his ex-wife and his mother-in-law. And then eventually he meets this young woman who he's like, maybe I can get them in the porn so I can get back to LA. And it's basically just a movie about a terrible, terrible fucking person.
All right. I watched. I've been trying desperately to find a horror movie that I can like recommend to people.
It was kind of horrifying. So
yeah. Well, I just noticed because it was. I know that it's not. I don't think it's A24, but
it is A24.
I mean, not that one. I watched Lamb.
Oh, that's
week.
Right. You're telling me about Lamb.
Yeah, where I was just
this
like,
is the most batshit fucking insane thing.
Here's
I've
2
ever
hours
heard.
of nothing. Hope you like nothing. Hope you like a kid with a sheep head, like just walking around, hanging out with Noomi Rapace. The end. Done. Like, I'm kind of mad at that movie. I'm kind of mad at that.
You explained it to me, and I was like, "That sounds awful."
Yeah.
But the good thing that I did do is I finished Bowser's Fury.
Oh, okay.
Because I started playing it like on and off for a little bit, and it was not super short, but it was a lot longer than I was expecting it to be.
Okay.
Because all you have to do is get 50 of the cat shines, and then from there, you can finish the game.
Mm-hmm.
But it was really fun because it was just it minimized on loading times as much as it could by just like every area was just a different section of the map. Mm-hmm. So it would just turn on the next objective of what that area is if you walked out and then sort of came back into it. And the music would change every time you went to the different areas, and it was just fucking gorgeous. All these visuals, especially when Bowser like goes batshit insane and tries to murder you.
Yeah.
And once you get all 50 of them, he stays on the entire time until you do the boss battle.
Oh.
So if you need like all the ones where it's like destroy the wall thing or whatever, once you reach 50, he's just fucking after you the whole goddamn time.
Oh, okay.
So you can just like keep hauling ass to the ones that you need to do that.
Nice.
Which was kind of fun, but also kind of terrifying. And I was going through power-ups like crazy because it kept shooting me.
I played that. I finished off that Battle Fairy, Code Fairy.
Oh, you did?
Gun. It was only, I feel bad when we did the videos for it. I said it was 10, 10, and 10. It's 5, 5, and 5. It's 15 total episodes.
Oh, okay.
So it was only 5 as the first, like, quote-unquote season or whatever.
Oh, so that's the only ones that are out so far?
Yeah, it's 5 now, 5 later this month, and then 5 in the beginning of December.
People really like that video.
When I went back, I played it, like, the missions start to get really fucking hard, like very difficult.
Oh, really?
Like it took me multiple tries to finish them, because it's a very small scenario, but if you die, you just got to start the whole thing over again.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that game was surprisingly fun.
yeah, I enjoyed it.
Like, because it got going real fast, which we did not expect.
Yeah. Actually, and I've been playing that Tales of Arise game.
Okay.
I decided to play that, and that is, we're going to get to the news here in just a second, but you know how I complain bitterly all the time about JRPGs and people hate it, and I'm just like, why can't JRPGs be written better and have like more accessibility and like better battle systems? That game has all of that.
Oh, okay.
It gets going quick. It's got a really fun battle system. All the dialogue is like optional, like you don't really have to if you don't want to, and it's just got some really good JRPG systems, and I'm like, great, this is great. It's like 40 hours long, and I'm like, great, make more of these and fewer of the crappy ones that go on for 60 hours. So well, yeah, let's jump into it. Our first story this week. Mark Hamill is
he's alive. Nothing happened to him.
Yep, that's it. So Mark Hamill's alive. You can all breathe a sigh of relief. No, I think we announced this or talked about it.
We talked about it the last podcast or two where they're like, hey, Mark Hamill's going to talk about random ass indie games for what was the name of the company?
Thunderful Games, Thunderful World. Yeah, and that was this week. And it was like this weird framing device where it's like Mark Hamill he's got like a lifestyles of the rich and famous thing, and then like this indie dev, the Thunderful guy, calls him and he's like, hey, I left my book with all the game ideas at your house. Don't read it out on a live stream. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. And he hangs up and he's like, all right, let's read out this book on a live stream. So it's really weird. It's a very strange thing. I mean, good on him for getting Mark Hamill to get people talking about it.
Well, what's weird about it is that he narrates a single one of the game trailers, and that's it.
Yeah.
And the rest of them, he just sort of introduces, makes a dad joke about it.
Yeah.
And then somebody is like, "Hey, have you seen the book?" And he's like, "Nope." And then just keeps reading it.
He goes, there's a bunch of people that keep showing up to his house, and they're like, "I can't." The guy sent me for the book, and he's like, "Oh, this book," and hands this. It doesn't even look like a book. It's like a weird folio or something.
Yeah.
And he hands it like up to the camera, and somebody who is obviously in a different location pulls their hand back, like, "Thank you, Mark Hamill. We're definitely in the same room."
It's really strange and really jarring, even from a COVID sort of standpoint. It's like, but why though?
Yeah, I don't know. It's real weird. I don't know. I mean, maybe Mark Hamill is just down to do stuff. Maybe we should ask him if he wants to come out and be on Rage Select.
He probably will say yes.
I'll buy him $50 worth of Taco Bell. He can pick whatever game he wants to be on, and I'll pay him $50 of Taco Bell.
Just tell him what we do in the shadows, and he'll come over.
So yeah, and then we got like, I don't know, 8 or 9 trailers. We started off with what was this, like
Wavetail?
Wavetail? Is that what that is? I had this, yes, Wavetail, which is a timed Stadia exclusive. Something that...
Yeah, Stadia paying the big bucks.
There have been like a few Stadia-specific games, but they've generally... And I think this is just like the end of... they had developers that they had contracted to do Stadia exclusive stuff.
Yeah.
To try to raise their profile, but I feel like they didn't start early enough, and so... There was not enough stuff coming out for any interest. Like I still to this day, Michael, that Guilt game that we played
game was great.
Not available on anything but Stadia, and it's fucking badass.
It's fucking crazy to me, by the way.
GYLT, it's like fucking Silent Hill for babies. It's great.
It's really good.
But yeah, this is Wavetail, and it's this kind of like we played a Patreon. Man and I played this. It was really interesting. It's just kind of like a third-person platformer. It's got a kind of like Wind Waker-esque ocean, but you can like run on the ocean, and you could do all these like super, there's like jumps and rail grinds, and there's some kind of moderate attacking, and then a lot of it is just kind of, finding various like stuff in the world, just being objective, like find these sparks or beat these enemies. Real pretty though, real nice looking.
Yeah, it's really nice looking actually.
And yeah, it's on Stadia. It's coming to PC and consoles next year. I hope that this isn't one of those things where it's like, because it was on Stadia and then when it releases it gets like less press because people already saw it and wrote it off as a Stadia game.
The thing is, I don't know if that'll happen because I don't think anyone talks about Stadia.
Well, there's definitely that.
I feel like the press is going to be like, "Oh, this is a brand new game. It's never been released on anything else whatsoever." And Stadia's crying in the background.
Yeah. But it's pretty cool. I mean, like, it is 100% not worth getting Stadia for. Nothing is. But you know what? I'm just going to say right now, I feel like if you're a gamer and you get one of these, like every so often there'll be a thing where it's like, oh, if you've got PlayStation Plus, you can get a month of Stadia for free or something like that.
Yeah, I was telling you that if you have, I think it's YouTube Premium, sometimes they'll send you an email to get Stadia for like 3 months.
Like if you can find one of those, I think it's totally interesting to just look at because they've got a bunch of stuff. If you get the Stadia Pro, like if you can get a trial of Stadia Pro, they've got a bunch of games that you can just claim and play right away.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's see. From there, we got Planet of Lana, an off-Earth Odyssey, which is kind of reminds me of like Ori and the Blind Forest a little bit.
I can see that.
With this kind of like character and cute other character wandering around in this kind of post-apocalyptic thing. It's kind of 2D side scroller. Really nice art. I don't think anything in here looked really like bad. I don't think
everything is very much a 2D kind of artsy thing for the most part. Like I think only one of them, I wouldn't say looks bad so much as it just looks kind of weird to my brain, which we'll get to it, I'm sure, eventually.
Yeah. So yeah, it looks pretty good. Also kind of reminds me of that Kina and the Spirits game with the little rot monsters.
It's because the cat looks like an otherworldly monster.
Yeah, well, there's also
I don't really know what it is.
There's some like points in this trailer where there's like little monsters moving stuff around, and I don't know, something about it. It's just reminiscent, but yeah, looks cool. It's definitely something I would check out. Let's see. After that, we got a trailer for Industria, which is actually already out on PCs. Came out earlier this year on PCs. It looks like a very kind of like, I don't know, there's a lot of like weird corporate cubicles and kind of abstract, like industrial stuff.
Yeah, some of the points remind me of BioShock Infinite, actually.
Some of it also reminds me of Half-Life 2. Like this stuff looks like City 17.
This as well, though, reminds me of BioShock Infinite. That sort of way it's colored.
Yeah,
that's one of the main reasons it does, especially when the way the guns are eventually too.
Yeah, because it's a first person game, and then eventually about halfway through the trailer, it's like the main character also has like machine guns and melee weapons and stuff. So they're fighting robots. I'm like, okay. It seemed like it kind of seemed like the Stanley Parable at first, and then there was like actual guns. So I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm confused as to what it's about.
Yeah,
like, it's just they're talking to a disembodied person named Walter, and they're like, oh, "I'm looking for Walter," and they're like, "Who?" And
right?
It's just like, I guess I don't know. Like, it's one of those games that like it's probably a mystery thing once you play it. Like, it's like, where did the guy go, or why is he talking to you, or something?
I'm a sucker for a good weird mystery, and I like the way that this looks. I think it said that in 2022 it's coming out on the PS5 and the Series X, and I think I would be more than willing to give it a shot there.
Yeah,
you know,
I would too. Yeah.
Just to see what it was like. But let's see. After that, we got the announcement that Super Meat Boy Forever is coming to phones. I was mentioning to Michael that I didn't realize until Chris and I played Super Meat Boy Forever that Super Meat Boy Forever is like a one-button game. Like you're always running, and then the way you switch directions is you jump on a wall, and then when you jump off of it, when you hit a wall, you turn around. So like it actually seems like a really good implementation for phones, right?
Yeah.
If all you have to do is tap on the screen to jump, and that's the only input that you need, it seems like something that would be much more suited to mobile, maybe even more so than consoles.
Which is interesting, which is very rare.
Yeah. Let's see. After that, we got Curse to Golf, my personal favorite, the one that I want to play the most. I don't know why I'm such a sucker for golf games this year, but
well, there's something really interesting about the concept of it. Is that you're stuck in literally golf purgatory.
Yeah,
and I think just the idea of that's kind of fun.
You're like a golf ghost. You're like a dead golf ghost, and what's weird is that it's 2D.
Yeah, it's this. Almost like what's the word I'm looking for? It almost looks like a Super Mario kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
I think is the best way for me to put it.
Yeah,
and it's kind of fascinating, and I'm really curious as to how, like, really what the actual objective of each thing will be, because it looks like he's destroying statues or something instead of making it go into a hole or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird because I don't think I've ever seen a golf game that works like no. What was that golf game that you and I played where you come back to Earth when it's all ruined?
That was my first thought when we saw it.
Yeah.
I don't even remember the name of it anymore.
Astro Golf or something.
It was
like
something
that.
like really.
It was very weird,
very disarmingly cutesy naming title or whatever.
Very strange,
and we did not expect it to be what it was.
Super dark,
but yeah, it's very similar in the way at least it plays, at least from what I see. It was way darker than we expected.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm totally play Curse to Golf. Looks great. Looks fantastic. Let's see. Next up, I think we did. This is the montage, the obligatory game montage,
the roguelike ass montage that happened constantly. Like not all of them were roguelike, mind you, but a lot of them were.
Started with Leica Aged Through Blood, that is a like Excite Bike Metroidvania. Basically, it's like a 2D dirt bike game, but you're like blasting people,
doing tricks and shit. And I don't know, it's just like. Like, one of the descriptions they used was like a thirsty John Wick. I'm like, what does that mean? It's like, I don't think you guys understand what thirsty means to people anymore.
I don't know. I just, like, ever since that, what was it called? Was it Yoko's Island Paradise? That pinball Vania?
Yeah. That thing was cool.
That game was rad, man. I'm like, let's do more Metroidvanias that are things that are not just running around as a character shooting stuff. So yeah, if we're doing dirt bike Metroidvanias, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, that sounds like it's actually kind of interesting the way it looks.
Yeah, and it definitely appears to be some kind of like slow-mo meter that builds up. Let's see. After that, we saw Hell Pie, which this is one of the ones that looked a little generic to me. Apparently, you're like a demon and you're making a pie for Satan. And you got a little chained up angel that's
This
following you
little chair
around.
that does stuff for you. It actually looks really cute though, and it looks like it could be a fun little platformer.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess it seems a little flat. Maybe it's just not visually very impressive.
See, this is the game that like my brain was having a hard time with.
The
one after
Fire Girl?
Fire Girl.
Yeah,
Because it's this 3D ass background with this really 2D,
super 2D sprite
kind of
character.
like Code Monkey looking character.
Yeah,
But it's fascinating.
but it's like tilted.
Yeah, it's the tilted that keeps fucking with me.
Yeah.
More than anything else.
Like, it actually looks fine when they just lock the camera to the side, but they keep tilting the camera to see the 3D environments and then bending the 2D sprite like at an angle.
The issue is that my brain's trying to figure out like what is the obstacle that's in front of them.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the fire doesn't look like it would be on the same like plane of existence of them, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's fascinating though.
This is like a roguelike fire putting out the fires game.
Yeah, and I guess you're solving a mystery at the same time or something. I don't know. That's what they said.
I kind of wish that they would just. I mean, like, I you know, I know what this is, but I'm kind of with you where I wish that they would just make 3D characters instead of 2D sprites.
Yeah.
Like, if they would have stuck to one or the other, I feel like it would have been more cohesive. But the idea of jamming the 2D sprite into the 3D world has never worked for me all that well.
It makes for an interesting look, but my brain is telling me this is stupid.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, we saw Crowns and Pawns, which looks like a very good just point and click adventure game.
Yeah.
Nice, big, expressive characters. I like what I see. You didn't see a lot here, but just, big inventory full of stuff to try using on other stuff.
Yeah.
There's an allusion in the trailer to there's a mystery you have to solve. So
Yeah, you got a will, and it's got a bunch of shit in it. That may be crazy.
Let's see. We also saw Swordship, which is some kind of run-based roguelike where you're like piloting this weird space water boat thing, and like,
well, it's like what's sort of like, it's like a shoot 'em up, but you're not actually shooting anything.
Yeah,
you're dodging the things and letting them shoot each other. Kill each other instead.
It's not that's. They kind of say that, but I don't think it's like it's very difficult to make out what's happening in this trailer because it's very frenetic.
It's very well. That's the thing about it, is that it looks like it's going to be this very intense, like dodging and weaving kind of thing.
Yeah,
which you're going to be paying attention to a lot of surroundings, and this is a game that I feel if I played, I would be cursing so often because I'm like, motherfucker, I didn't see that shit or some shit. It's definitely one of those games, guaranteed.
I feel like I would start playing this game and I'd be like, no, this is pretty fun, I'm into it, and then like 2 hours later I'd be like, fuck this game, I do not have time for this.
No, because it's going to get increasingly harder as it progresses, of course.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Let's see. And then Tinkertown, this was another one that I was like, meh. I mean, it just looks kind of an online survival building.
Well, it's an early access, like Minecrafty thing that looks almost like a Link to the Past design.
Yeah,
which sounds awesome on paper, but looking at it, it's just kind of meh.
Yeah, it's like join your friends, like go online with your friends. I'm like, I think the problem with this, Michael, is that I feel like I've seen this game a bunch of times before.
Well, that's the thing. It is. That's exactly what it is. Is everyone makes a survival thing where you can build things and hang out with your friends like every 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a new early access game where that's the exact fucking thing.
Yeah. Or I don't know. I get vibes. Weren't there like 5 or 10 years ago, there was like a bunch of, I just remember there being a slew of online games that were just like, and then everybody joins in and there's like a lobby that has 8 billion people and they're all one little sprite. They're all doing something silly. Not Maple Story, but like Maple Story.
No, I get it. Yeah. Like I said, there's a lot of games that are kind of similar to this. How even some of the newer games are still like this. Like New World is still kind of almost like this.
Yeah, maybe there's just, I don't know, maybe they're not making them very often anymore, and they're just trying to cash in on like people still want to play these kind of games. But
yeah, they're still really popular. That's the thing. Like, even what is the name of the shrink down ones?
The shrink down ones.
The Xbox game that's like Honey, They Shrunk Their Kids or whatever. Grounded. Even
yes.
that has the same sort of almost premise kind of thing where it's like build your things or whatever and hang out with your friends and find stuff together and stuff. Like, that's still very popular genre. But yeah, you're right. Like, it's finally toned down to where we only get like them every now and then instead of like every 20 seconds. But although it's still true that we get them every 20 seconds, just that we just don't notice it as much as we used to.
Yeah.
Because it's not big names doing it.
True. I have there is a story at the end of this podcast, Michael. I will make a bet with you now. A game that once existed. If you already know the answer, then you're not eligible. But a game that once existed that got shut down is coming back. And what game that is, I would never have guessed in a billion years what game it is. If you can guess it, I will give you $5.
Shit, I don't know.
Okay. Well, if something comes to your head throughout the podcast, just let me know, and
Is it Showgirls? No, that's not a game.
Showgirls is What?
Is there Showgirls game? Is that a thing?
I don't believe so.
Maybe it's just the Grand Theft Auto game. I don't know.
believe so. And then let's see. Source of Madness, I believe, is another roguelike. That's kind of like 2D side scrolling. So this is pretty gritty. Apparently,
Is it Demolition Man?
No, it is not Demolition Man.
Making a new one, I assume.
Very gritty, like kind of interesting. I'm not a big fan of the kind of 2D puppet animation.
Yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of those games, like a lot of indie games that are like action games, for some reason use that a lot.
Yeah.
Like I've been seeing it more and more, and especially the roguelikes. Roguelikes have started doing that more, and this is a roguelike as well. So I don't know. It's really up to whether or not you're cool with that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Or not.
And it's got a kind of interesting, like, filthy look to it, but I'm just not a big fan of the animation of the monsters. I don't know. Let's see. And then from there, we actually went on to another full trailer for this game called White Shadows. That's a very, like, I don't know. I was saying it reminds me of Inside or Limbo or one of those kind of platforming action through a dystopia type of games.
It's got the same sort of like weird shit going on, and everything's black and white, kind of monochromatic, as you're saying.
Yeah,
monochromatic.
Monochromatic. So yeah.
Oh, what did I say? I don't even know what I said. Monochromatic. I don't even know what I said now. I can't even say it because I don't remember what it was.
Like neither one of us are in a frame of mind to remember what the other one said, so I think it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. This looks pretty fun.
Are they making more Bubsy?
No.
Okay.
No more Bubsy.
I'm thinking of things.
No more Bubsy.
You might just have me randomly saying shit.
I feel like I should have told you this because now your mind's going to be constantly trying to figure it out. I don't think there's any way you'll figure it out.
No, I'm not.
It's a very obscure video game, Michael.
How obscure are we talking?
Very.
Okay, then I'm probably not going to get it.
I mean,
because I didn't even know that one that got re-released that you were so upset about.
Which one?
That Square one that we played with the god with the sword.
Oh, ActRaiser?
ActRaiser, because I didn't even know what the fuck that was.
It did. ActRaiser so dirty. No, I'll give you hints. It's from a Sony platform, and we have played it on Rage Select. I know that's not like a big hint, but it does rule out like Steam bullshit, right?
Is it that Square thing? I don't even remember the name of it. I don't even know if you ever play that.
Which one?
The one with the square when it's like the square slowly moving. That old PS1 game. You know what I'm talking about?
Intelligent Cube?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
No.
Then I've got nothing.
It's not that.
I'm just gonna leave it alone for now.
It's not that.
Blasto.
It's not Blasto.
I want more Blasto, to be honest. That'd be cool.
Speaking of squares, we got a trailer for Togs. I'm not entirely sure what the hell is going on here.
I don't know either. It's just a Roomba shitting itself.
It's like a Roomba pooping out cubes, and like you can see in a few places that they're using the cubes to like go vertically through the levels, and then there's also some places where they're like reclaiming the cubes. This is one where like they just showed a gameplay montage, and I'm like, no, you need like narration explaining what the fuck is happening here, because all I see is a Roomba pooping out boxes.
It's one of those ones that he should have been fucking explaining, but they only got him to explain one game, and I'm like, why though?
Yeah. Coming in 2022. I don't know. Togs looks like, it looks like it might be fun as a platformer. I just would like to know what the hell is actually happening in it.
Because even the icon is like a dude as well with the bricks on him on his back.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, who is that?
Yep.
What is happening?
What does he have? He's got like a crown or something, or like
he's got glasses. And a crown, and also the cubes have faces.
Yeah.
So now I'm twice as confused because I didn't even notice that until now.
There's like a dragon at one point in the trailer, and there's like this weird starry landscapes. Yeah, I
Are
don't.
these cubes alive?
I don't know.
Are we hurting these cubes, Jeff?
I don't know, Michael. I don't have the answers. I don't have the answers you're looking for. I know that it looks nice. It's got nice graphics. It looks like it could be fun as a platformer. But as far as the specifics go, I don't know. I have absolutely no idea.
I have no idea either. Because of the implication.
It's because of the implication. I don't know. No idea. Let's see. And then is this? Oh yeah. Then we saw the gunk.
Yeah.
Which we've known about for a while. So it's going to be an Xbox. An Xbox exclusive, console exclusive.
What I find interesting about this one is that it is narrated, but not by Mark Hamill. It's narrated by Fiona Nova, who, if the internet might know as, she's on the Achievement Hunter group of Rooster Teeth, as well as they're going to be on the new Attack of Show.
Okay.
And a bunch of other shit that she's been up to since joining Rooster Teeth, to be honest. But I think that it's because they're one of the characters. From what I don't remember which one of the characters she is.
The main character, I believe, yeah.
And so they're just talking about how much they enjoyed being the character, as well as I guess some of the journey stuff. But it's one of those games that's like I'm interested in whenever I get my hands on it, because this is going to be a Game Pass game. Yeah, guaranteed. So
December 16th also. So
okay, so that's pretty soon.
Yeah, not that far away. Fucking December, man. Like usually, like we're in the middle of like there's too many games out, and then also Jeff is playing Gundam instead of Forza Horizon, the thing that the entire internet is playing. And then like December, there's like 3 or 4 actual big games coming out in December.
Yeah, Xbox has a really like big holiday lineup that's surprising. Like it's not super big AAA games, but there's quite a few of them still.
It's like that Five Nights game is coming out.
Yeah, Five Nights game is also coming out in December.
And then let's see. I think that was it. I think that then we ended up with this skit where the developer guy was like, whatever you do, don't say the thing that's on the last page. And Mark Hamill's like, let me read what's on the last page, which was kind of the big showstopper. I don't know how much people care about the SteamWorld franchise, but there's a new it's going to be a new 3D SteamWorld game back in the Western thing, Headhunter. And it's like the trailer is these 2 robots having a showdown, and then the one that gets shot, his head pops off and goes and jumps. It's interesting. The SteamWorld has all been 2D so far, so it's nice to see it in full 3D. I didn't play the RPG and Heist, but I did play Dig 1 and 2, so I've enjoyed the quality of the SteamWorld games quite a bit.
It's always been an interesting idea that I was always just like, but seeing it in 3D makes it that much more impressive, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you think this one would get you to play it? This is kind of the...
maybe. I don't know. It depends on still what type of game it is.
This is kind of the Stranger's Wrath of SteamWorld games.
Yeah, I could see that. Yeah.
And that was it. That was the Thunderful World. It was very strange. Like, here's just in the middle of November, we're going to have a conference, and here it is, the end.
By the way, guys, if you're ever curious, I actually did interview Fiona 2 years ago, so that might still be on one of us.
Oh, on their YouTube channel?
Could ever find that. Yeah, I don't remember if it's on the YouTube channel or not. It might. It should be. It most likely is because I think we recorded it that way.
Okay.
So yeah,
it's probably just an audio file as well. So
it was. Yeah, it was very. They were very, very nice people because they're here in Austin.
Okay.
So yeah,
cool. Yeah. So that was it. That was the Thunderful show.
Yeah.
What do we think, Michael? I mean, it was just a bunch of indie games. None of them looked bad.
No,
but...
they're all very indie. Mark Hamill is being Mark Hamill.
Yep.
And I don't really know what to say other than that. Like some of them were kind of interesting. Like Inspiria, I think is the one that I'm the most interested in, and because of like I'm interested in what's going on in it, and as well
which
as
one?
Inspiria, the one that we said that like had that. I think that was the name of it. Inspiria, the one that had all the Bioshocky Infinite kind of looking things that I was talking about.
Oh yeah, Industria.
Industria.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
See, I was close.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very interested in that one.
Okay.
It turns out not enough to remember the name of it, but I am very interested in it.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, again, there was nothing wrong with this, and it's kind of cool to see a company. I mean, like, you look at this and you say, what would be more beneficial from your marketing department budget? Like, dribbling these trailers out one at a time in the midst of all the other trailers that come out every single fucking week, or like, why don't we just put them all together, and then take 2 days and film some bullshit and ask Mark Hamill if he'll sit in front of a camera for 45 minutes and then just cut it all together. And then it's like, hey, now you've got a thing with a name. And everybody's like, ooh, I love Luke Skywalker. Let me watch all your indie games.
What would have been funnier is if you got Harrison Ford and he was just confused as fuck the entire time. He's like, you want me to do what? No, what? No, I'm not doing any of that. Like, just constantly just like fighting them the whole fucking way.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely, if I ever do one of these, I definitely want to hire somebody that hates video game. Not just doesn't play them.
Have you ever watched
actively hates them?
Have you ever watched the one where they got him to play Uncharted 3?
Harrison Ford?
Yeah, they got like it's an old YouTube video. I didn't even remember where he was. Like I think he was actually in Japan or something. Because I remember seeing subtitles that were Japanese. They got Harrison Ford to play Uncharted 3, and they were like trying to get him to be like, "Hey, it's like Indiana Jones, right?" But like he's clearly just kind of confused.
Yeah,
he was like, "Yeah, it's really cool" or whatever. Like he just doesn't really know what to say.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I still think that people underestimate how daunting a modern controller is to somebody who has not already internalized where every button is on that controller.
Oh, absolutely.
And could just turn it off and
When I was in high school, there was a friend of ours that tried playing Halo with us because we all were playing Halo.
Yeah.
And they literally couldn't look at the screen and use the controller at the same time.
Because
their brain
controller
had no idea what to do.
Yeah, which button was which.
Yeah, they're like, oh, where's the oh god, like they kept looking down. I'm like, I feel bad for killing you. Like I don't even want to do it.
Yeah. Well, speaking of feeling bad, Rockstar should feel real bad about Grand Theft Auto trilogy launch.
So yeah, my Facebook has been covered in people talking about how upset they are.
Yep. Well, it was funny. Amanda and I played, the day that this comes out, we played San Andreas, and I felt kind of bad about it. And then I was really glad when I did this podcast where it's like, because we played it and it was like, okay, I don't want to go too far out on limbs here. Everybody has their own blah, 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 blah. But like the writing in San Andreas, I'm not sure how well it holds up. Like the interaction between CJ and Big Smoke and Ryder and all of them, like it was a little strange. Also, the game itself just like it was fine in that trailer that we watched. But then when I played it, it was like real rough around the edges.
That's what I've heard most about it.
Like you can get really nice screenshots from it, but like one of the things. So here's some of the things that we've seen so far. Like there are a lot of people on Twitter tweeting out things about like just tweeting out screenshots of what characters look like. Like obviously there was some AI upresing that happened in this game where like AIs filled in the details. Either that that's the only thing I can think of, because there was I don't know if you saw this, Michael, but there was a thing where it was like in the original Grand Theft Auto, it was like a store. It was like a guitar store, and on the front it said like Guitar Hank, and like it was supposed to say Guitar Wank, and it was obvious that like the low res letters got turned into text that didn't make any sense anymore. Like instead of air guitar, like they had a sign that said like air guitars available, and it was AR guitars available in the new version.
Oh jeez.
And it was just like, wait a minute, what the fuck? That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, also here's the barber from San Andreas apparently is now like super young instead of being an old man like he was in the original.
What the fuck?
Really weird, inexplicable shit going on.
Yeah, one of the screenshots that you showed of it's them talking to somebody in like the diner or something.
Yeah,
like the actual the screenshot of what that person was supposed to look like.
Yes,
not even close.
Yes,
not even close to what that person ends up looking like.
There's this Twitter video that I've seen of like the density of rain when it rains in San Andreas that makes the game like almost unplayable.
What the fuck?
Just kind of incredible.
Can't see shit. Oh my god.
Yeah. A lot of like, and then they talked about, and so one of the big problems with this is that, as if any good listener of the Rage Select podcast remembers, Rockstar went out and DMCA'd a whole bunch of mods that were out there to make these games look better. And then this Twitter shot that I'm showing right here, this is like the modded version, and this is what's in the enhanced edition version. And it's like, oh, the modded version looks more like, they look more cartoony in the enhanced edition, and they look more realistic in the modded version.
Well, there's a good example of one of those really, really good mods for that. Again, that person that's in the diner or whatever with them.
Yeah.
Like I saw one where it was like the original, the definitive, and the mod.
Right.
And the mod is like fucking gorgeous, like looking, and you're like, what the fuck happened here?
Yeah. So, but that's not all. I don't know how much you know about this, Michael, but okay. So the definitive edition of Grand Theft Auto came out, and then something happened where Rockstar shut down access to the launcher that they use.
Oh my God.
Which meant that, like, you couldn't open those games. Like, if you had them on Steam, you couldn't open them because they couldn't verify with the launcher.
Yeah.
It means you also couldn't open Red Dead Redemption 2 or Grand Theft Auto Online because those require those as well.
That's interesting.
They were down for like a day, 2 days. Like, the launcher was off for that amount of time.
That's crazy.
Yeah. They turned it back on, and so Grand Theft Auto Online and Red Dead Redemption works fine. But as of our recording this, the Grand Theft Auto Enhanced Edition is not available on the PC. Like,
why?
Well, the answer came when a bunch of intrepid data miners opened up the source and found that, gee boy howdy surprise, this was a really fast hack job, because when they looked in the source files, they found so the licensing right in the game, like, this was a story I didn't bother covering it because I don't really give two shits, because you've got YouTube, you can make your own station on Spotify, but they didn't have the licensing for all the songs, right?
Yeah.
Well, all those songs are in the game files.
Really?
They just don't play on the radio stations, like, but they're still in the game. The scripts for all three games, with notes internally from Rockstar employees going back and forth with Dan Houser about things, like the full scripts, including things that didn't make it into the game, are in these game files.
Oh my God, seriously?
Yes. All of the hot coffee code is in these game files.
So they didn't even. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That means they didn't even use the newer version of the codes. They just took all the OG codes and went from, oh my God, that's awful.
Yeah. So they took it down, and then Rockstar released a statement basically saying, like, yeah, it turns out there's some information that was not scrubbed out of this game before they put it out. And it makes me laugh, because if there's any company that realized that they needed to take unused controversial code out of the video game, out of a video game called San Andreas, it should have fucking been Rockstar. Like, this is literally what you got in trouble with when the whole hot coffee thing came out in the first place. And it's like, you literally had the songs in the game files and just, like, commented them out. Like, I mean, I get that.
Well, the song ones make sense. The issue with the hot coffee mod one, or not even hot coffee mod, the issue with the hot coffee one is that literally they weren't allowed to sell the game with that code in it,
right?
Because it would be considered an AO game,
right?
That was the deal.
Yep.
The deal is that this code shouldn't exist in San Andreas ever again.
Yep.
And that was you had one job.
It appears that this whole thing is just a really sloppy hack job, right? Like, you know, like the stuff I'm talking about with, like, the air guitar. It seems like a lot of. In fact, that would completely, like, AI up-resing of those old assets would totally account for why some of these characters look like garbage, like, because they just kind of ran the whole thing through a big AI checker.
Yeah,
they did some spot checks, and then they were like, yeah, that seems fine, put it out. And it was like, did we take the hot coffee out this time? And they're like, let me check. Oh, fuck. Oh, God damn it.
All we did was enhance it, apparently.
Yes.
So now it's doubly pornographic.
Yeah. So Rockstar, not doing great. Not this new one.
So fucked.
Kind of bad.
So fucked.
And you know, here's the thing. I mean, I will go off on an editorial limb here real fast. Like, you know, we're gonna play these. I don't know if we're gonna play the other two at some point, but like, I don't know. Michael, you tell me. Are you just chomping at the bit to go back and play Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, and San Andreas? Are you just like, I can't wait to get back in that world?
Vice City is the only one that I could see that because I really liked Vice City.
Yeah.
Because it's just Scarface, basically. But it's kind of like... But it's always... Because I always loved the atmosphere and everything about Vice City. It's a really fun, great fun story and stuff. I was never that big of a fan of 3's plot. Yeah, kind of thing. And three aged probably the worst of them because it is the most like it was the first big open world console game,
right?
That everyone like looked at. And San Andreas, like I liked San Andreas, but I don't have the nostalgia everyone did because I didn't own it until way after the fact.
Okay.
But I still don't feel like I would go out of my way to buy these for that right now.
I mean, the fact that
even
it's
then
$60 for all three of them,
yeah,
and what's weird is that, but then, I mean, I don't know if you know this. San Andreas is on Game Pass. Only San Andreas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I heard about that.
Only San Andreas is on Game Pass. And if you get San Andreas on Game Pass, there's no way to buy like just 3 in Vice City for a cheaper price. So it's like... It's so weird. I don't understand any part of this deal. I don't understand what the fuck is happening.
I don't
here.
either.
Like,
and that's the thing is that like I kind of wish these games had gone through a full remake style thing instead.
I'd rather have just 3 remade from the ground up. Like
you could do a lot of cool. You could do a lot of cool things with remaking 3, and I mean like literally remaking it because that had a silent protagonist originally.
Yeah,
and you can just make a whole new fucking game out of it.
Yeah.
Whereas Vice City had a very specific thing, so did San Andreas. And those characters, you know, I feel like they deserved a lot better than what they've gotten here, which is such a shame. Because at first I was like, well, that's kind of cool. I thought they were leaning into like making it a cartoony kind of thing. Instead, it turns out they just half-assed it as hard as they could.
Yeah.
And made it try to look better. And that disappoints me even more so than anything else, because that's fucking ridiculous.
Yep, I agree. I say, buyer beware. Some people have talked about how it's like.
Okay, that top tweet is fucking amazing.
It's the one with the Jesus picture that the lady redid into the weird bear face.
It is the perfect fucking like metaphor, or whatever the fucking term is on this case, of what it would look like.
Like 3 babies born during construction, 40 textures. Anyway, yeah, I some people were comparing it online to Cyberpunk, and I don't know if it's quite that.
No, it's not quite that. It's closer. There's something else in my mind that I feel like it's closer to. But like me, I can't remember what it is. But it shows the state of what Rockstar has been like for quite a while. Yeah, where they've been very much like money, like more so than they've ever been in a long time, which is kind of frustrating because we used to get quality ass games from them almost every year. Right. And then one day Grand Theft Auto 5 happened, and then we never fucking got anything ever again.
Yeah. Well, we got Red Dead 2.
But that's like one thing. Yeah. And that's it. Like we used to get like there used to be a new Grand Theft Auto all the time. There used to be great single player DLC for every Grand Theft Auto game. True. And then 5 broke that. And then, because I remember people talk about it all the time, there used to be an announcement where they said, hey, we're going to make single player DLC for 5. And it never happened. Every now and then somebody tweets about it still, where they're like, I'm still waiting for that single-player DLC for 5.
Oh, the DLC for 4 was great, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Lost and Damned and Bow to Gay Tony, those were fucking amazing.
They're fantastic.
Like, I love those expansions. Yeah, it's just it. Well, also, we have to wonder whether they're Hauser leaving the company. We never really figured out what happened there.
No one really knows. Well, that's the issue with a lot of these things. A lot of companies have been changed. A lot of companies that we had deep respect for have changed quite a bit. Yeah, and it's a little frustrating.
I agree. One of those companies we used to have deep respect for was Konami, and it's funny. This news story. I my alternate transition was, speaking of taking things off the internet. Metal Gear Solid 2 and 3 are pulled from stores, and at first I was like, oh shit, like incoming remaster or like some new version or something maybe that's good. It turns out that apparently this happened because
this is an interesting reason, actually.
The stock footage of like war and shit that they have in those two games, the license that Konami bought ran out. So,
which is crazy.
Yeah.
I've never heard of something like that.
Yeah.
Every time something gets pulled for a license issue, it's usually because of a song,
right,
or something like that. Like we were mentioning with Grand Theft Auto, this was like, that footage of Gorbachev being like, America kind of thing. It's like, well, we don't have the license for that anymore. I'm like, that's fucking weird.
Apparently it was like historical footage. Yeah, because I mean, for anybody that doesn't know, there's like a shitload of talking in all the Metal Gear games.
Yeah, of course.
And a lot of times when the person is talking, they're showing just like stock footage of like missiles shooting out, or like a helicopter shooting at a thing, or like a parade or something. Like it's like historical footage. And apparently the license on that is what is now taking it down. And Konami says they're going to, quote, work towards making these products available for purchase once again, unquote, but there's no like time or date or anything. And it's very strange. It's
super strange.
Very strange.
They're definitely going to work on it, because these are like some of their best selling things that they have, period. And so it's really fucking weird. Like, it's on all of them. That's the thing, is they took it off of everything.
Yeah.
Even the 3DS version of Snake Eater 3 is being taken down, which is fucking crazy.
The Metal Gear Solid 2 HD on the PC is getting taken down. Yeah. Everything that has it's getting taken down. And apparently it also just like it all just kind of happened in a flash. Like nobody was paying any attention. They were just like, fuck, we have to take these down like tomorrow.
It's so weird. Very strange.
Yeah. It wouldn't actually surprise me. It would not surprise me if 6 months from now you and I were sitting here reading a news story that said like, Metal Gear Solid HD Collection still not available to purchase because Konami doesn't know what the fuck they're doing, and they're just more interested in getting towels to their fucking workout clubs and pachinko machines with fucking Pyramid Head.
The new Metal Gear Solid pachinko machine, made of purely stock footage.
Yes. So I don't know. And then we also got news that Jump Force is getting delisted.
This caught me the fuck off guard.
And as near as I can tell this, I mean, the only thing I can think of is that apparently, Jump Force came out in 2019. It is being delisted February 7th, 2022 from digital stores.
They're also turning off a lot of the server stuff.
The servers are being turned off August 24th of 2022. They say that you'll still be able to do like direct, maybe there's some nebulous stuff, but the only thing I can think of here is, did they have a really short license for the shonen characters? Like, there's no indication as to why they're doing this, or at least nothing that I got out of this article.
Well,
like,
that's the thing, is Bandai Namco is the one who made this, so I assume they had the licensing for all of this. But there had to have been something weird about it, because there's so many characters in it that somebody had to have pulled something. Yeah. Like, and we just don't know what. That's what's weird. Yeah, it's like there's no indication of anything I found on it, because I was on Twitter when I found this out. Like, I don't even remember what day it was when I found it out. And I was reading through the whole thing, and I'm like, but why though? Yeah, like, you're not explaining to me the reason why.
Yeah, you got all the logistics about what the game is, when it's getting turned off.
Like, you could still buy all this stuff though before that point. I'm like, but that's not answering my question.
Yeah, the question is, what the fuck?
Exactly.
Like, why? Why is it getting turned off? The only thing that makes any sense to me is that they had some kind of blanket licensing with Shonen Jump, and that they maybe like have decided to license video game rights for some of the characters that are in there to other places.
That's possible. It's the only thing that makes sense. It's just that I always thought Bandai Namco had such a fucking iron claw attached to all of these. Yeah, but I just assumed that something like that could never happen.
I guess the weird thing is, like, I guess the question that I have is, if you were a game company that was going to make a game like what Jump Force is, why would you ever sign a licensing contract that could run out in 3 years? Like,
yeah, that's the weird. Like, I've heard, like, because I've seen stuff like this happen before. This isn't unheard of, but it's the shortest time period I've ever heard of this ever happening.
Yeah, like we talked about how original Rocksmith is shutting down because
it was like a 10-year-old game,
right? But this came out in 2019, for God's sake.
Yeah, we played this on Rage Select, you and Matt. And I never finished it because I didn't have time.
And there was
just DLC
DLC
characters.
Yeah,
like maybe if like the last of them maybe last year at most, maybe.
It wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was so not that long ago that I had to buy the pass for it.
Yeah.
Because I didn't realize that I didn't have these characters.
Oh, okay.
Like, that's how new it was. Because you got me the ultimate, like, it comes with fucking almost everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't even know there was a second pass to it. That's how often they were adding stuff to it.
It's so weird. It's really strange. It makes very little sense, and I would like to know why.
Yeah, I would like to too. And I don't know, like, I'm not exactly mad that it's going away, because this game is it's meh as fuck.
Right.
Like, that's one of the other reasons I never finished it, because it's super meh. But having all those characters in one game was kind of cool, but man, they were hard to look at.
Yeah. Yeah, because they were all done in the same style of the game.
Yeah, they're all these ultra realistic characters, but then you look at Midoriya's face and the same character design with that ultra realistic, and you're like, you do not look like you're supposed to be a person. This is freaking me the fuck out.
Okay, well, I know this is a lot of cancellation and a lot of things are being taken away, Michael, but we're gonna end this first segment on a real high note, right? So they might be taking away the game with all the anime characters, but not to worry. Do not worry, because they're putting Naruto in Fortnite.
Oh my fucking god!
They're putting Naruto in Fortnite. Naruto, whatever it is. Somebody's going to say I'm saying it wrong. I don't care. Yeah. Apparently, Naruto is going to be coming to Fortnite. Apparently, a whole bunch of Narutos. Naruto and
believe it.
The fucking
no one's used that fucking thing in a long time. All these characters, Kakashi, Sakura, Sasuke are all coming in.
It's like
it's all their fucking Shippuden outfits.
Yeah,
that's fucking interesting.
I don't know.
That show ended like a long time ago, guys.
What about Boruto? They need to put
that's
Boruto.
what's surprising. I assumed it would be something Boruto related, but no, these are all their Shippuden character, and they're early Shippuden character designs too.
You know, Fortnite is just a nostalgia wank at this point, right? So, like,
true.
If they're gonna wank nostalgic, they might as well wank the wank that everybody wants to wank. So
fun fact about Naruto is that his English catchphrase "Believe it" actually accidentally inspired the Believe tag in Halo 3.
Okay.
Yeah, one of the marketing guys was like, no, I got the idea off of Naruto.
Fair enough.
I don't even remember where I found that out, but that was interesting to me.
All right.
Yeah, no one said that in a long time, and I saw that tweet mentioned it, and I was like, oh my god, they still say Believe it?
I mean, I guess the thing is just like the characters have to do that run, right?
Yeah, they have to do the Naruto run. And yeah, the funny thing about the Believe it was the roughest translation they could do as a catchphrase from his normal catchphrase, because it's like Databayo. I don't even remember the actual translation for it, but it was the best they could do with it.
Okay. And with that, we're going to Naruto run and take a break. We're going to hold our arms out behind us while we take a break. But we'll be back in just a minute with more Rage Select Podcast. Michael. And Michael,
yes,
Michael,
sorry.
It's your time to shine. It's the most exciting Michael news of the week.
Oh, is this what I think it is?
Michael's favorite video game of all time, Marvel's The Avengers. By the way, everybody, I keep saying that, and I want to make sure, Michael, that I'm not like you know that I'm joking, right?
Well, here's the funny thing about that is the amount of the game I've played. It might as well be.
Well, you're the only person that I know that plays it.
I'm the only person that you know personally who continuously. I've never uninstalled it.
Yeah,
I still go back to it.
Yep.
In fact, I was going to. When I got paid, I was going to go back and buy one of the outfits they released.
Oh, my God.
Because I still like playing this game, legitimately.
Well, there you go.
This is actually legitimately exciting for me.
Yep. And so this week we got the trailer. The Spider-Man is finally here.
They finally released The Amazing Spider-Man is going to be on, like, his actual character trailer.
Yeah.
And my favorite thing about this trailer is I think they finally realized that people don't like all their iconic outfits, and so a lot of the characters don't even have their cover of the game outfits.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they show up, because in the trailer, Spider-Man shows up. He's stopping some of the AIM people from taking the Inhumans, which I don't give a fuck about, but he shows up, attacks them, gets surrounded, and then the rest of the Avengers show up. But I can't help but laugh at the fact that like only 2 of the Avengers are wearing like the normal skins that you get throughout the game.
Yeah,
like Captain America has the DLC outfit that I had for him right away. Same with like I think Black Panther has a different outfit. I think I remember Iron Man has the outfit he has at the end of the game. Like it's just weird, like how little they seem to like cared about those outfits anymore.
Yep,
but I'm cool with that. I'm really excited. He looks like an interesting design. He's got like a mixture of his classic design and sort of the Raimi and Amazing Spider-Man 2 design, because the back of the spider is more like the Raimi one.
Okay.
As well as they announced like 5 outfits for him already.
Okay.
The Spider Armor Mark 1, the Ends of the Earth outfit, which is technically Spider Armor Mark 3, his Secret War outfit that they made. It's this storyline that no one really cares. I actually usually hate the suit, but they actually made the suit look kind of neat. One called the Bugle Boy, which is him. He still has his mask on, but he's basically dressed like normal Peter Parker. He's got like a camera with him, except all he has is his mask on. And his classic outfit, of course, which is like the normal red and blue with the actual normal outfit look, instead of, because in this one he doesn't have the whole red belt kind of look across him on his normal iconic outfit.
Okay.
So that one has like the more normal. I assume the back will have his normal back symbol too. I think those are the only ones they've announced so far, at least. Yeah. But they all look... Oh, no, there's one more. The Spider-Man Noir one was the other one they announced.
Okay.
And I think he actually has his trench coat on, which is actually kind of cool, because not all of them have the trench coat.
Yeah. That's pretty...
Those are the only ones they've announced so far, which I think is kind of cool. I assume they'll all be out for purchase once he comes out, like they did with Black Panther. So I'm legitimately excited about this. It comes out on the 30th. They said that I don't really know what they're doing with the story itself. They said they're like unlockable challenges throughout Avengers Initiative or something, I think is what they said.
So well, they are going to have just like a narrative single-player story like the rest of the characters
have,
that's
the thing
right?
is that I don't really know, because the way they worded it was like they kept saying unlockable challenges instead of just being like it being a whole thing, because I thought it was going to be a whole story thing, but they might have pulled back on it to keep the Xbox players from revolting, because the Xbox people are still really pissed off, as they should be.
I just actually realized that this is on IGN, and that it's got basically 50-50 upvotes and downvotes. I should enjoy my downvote counter while I can.
It's so stupid. What are you doing, YouTube?
I actually think that taking the counter off of the downvotes is fine, because the creators can still see it, so you can still register your displeasure.
Oh, really?
It just keeps people from like jumping on the bandwagon of throwing downvotes at stuff. Like, I have no problem. That's the thing, is that you can still downvote, and creators can still see how many downvotes there are in relation to upvotes. It just doesn't show the actual ratio publicly. So
there's 2 videos that will suffer from it, unfortunately. One is the Futurama gag of the neutral guy.
Yeah.
Who says, I have no feelings one way or the other.
Right.
That one has a perfect downvote and upvote count. As well as the perfectly balanced clip of Thanos. Like perfectly balanced as all things should be. That also has a perfectly like upvoted and downvoted, because the internet like loves doing stupid shit like that.
Oh, the internet. Don't ever change.
So people are very bummed that that's no longer to be possible.
Change immediately. You suck.
But the Xbox they threw the Xbox a bone, which kind of cracked me up. They're like, here's a bunch of like free suits, just random shit or whatever.
Yeah.
But of course they're like, no.
Spider-Man. Well, I mean, but this was announced like at the very beginning.
Yeah, this was the first thing they fucking like. They announced this before the game even came out.
Yeah,
I remember buying my copy for PS4, and it had a sticker that was clearly added after the fact. It was wrapped. That was like Spider-Man, by the way.
Yeah,
like it was just like, okay, I guess.
So yeah. Also, apparently they're adding the claw raid,
yes,
and some new challenges. And then one of the things I read in this story was that there's going to be like a new type of box that you can buy with in-game currency that you can actually get outfits out of.
That I didn't know about. But
yeah, so
they're going to do a lot of shit apparently.
The shipments feature provides a new path. This is via VG 24/7. The shipments feature provides a new path to earn cosmetics, resources, and other items strictly through gameplay. Each shipment costs 500 units and pulls from a collection of nearly 250 items. There's also a small chance of rewarding a premium outfit unavailable via any other means of acquisition, but luck isn't required as you will automatically receive it after claiming 100 shipments. It's like, all right, fine.
This is a thing that people have been hounding them about for ages, which is unlockable cosmetics.
Yeah,
because it's literally not hasn't been a thing for a long time. Because the one unlockable thing that was sort of like that was this thing. There was this thing on the helicarrier, but they essentially not turned it off. They fucking they nerfed the shit out of it. Where only like a handful of things might come out, but 99% of the time it's the same goddamn thing. Like literally the only way to get all the items out of it was to go offline, because for some reason the servers would no longer nerf it and just show you all of the things.
Okay.
And you would just keep changing the clock until eventually you got what you wanted, saved it, and then then it would be there. I had to do that for like 3 Iron Man skins. It's very frustrating.
Last week we had that story. Last week there was a story where they had their earnings call and they were just like, "Yeah, Avengers didn't do as well as we thought." And it's like, really? Do you think? Because it seems like it's kind of been mismanaged from top to bottom.
They're brutal in that earnings call about it too.
Yeah,
it's the most brutal I've ever. Like it's the first time I've ever heard a company outright being like, "No, we fucked up."
Yeah,
like 1,000%.
Yep. So if you're playing Avengers, you got a PlayStation, go get you some Spider-Man.
November 30th. So as well as the raid and all that stuff. So I'll be online probably. So
you can play with one. There'll be at least one person,
me, minimum.
Michael.
Maybe
every matchmaking is just with Michael.
Spider-Man.
It's just one person. It's just Michael's the only one playing. Speaking of online games with kind of what the fuck, apparently Battlefield 2042 is not going to have any voice chat at launch. Like, I don't know. Apparently, because Battlefield 2042 right now, as of the recording, is in its early access period, where if you bought the $100 version or whatever, you get access early, or the EA Play or whatever. But the players are like, hey, there's no voice chat in here. And they're just like, yep, no voice chat. There's also not going to be voice chat on launch. Apparently it's going to take some time to get voice chat in Battlefield 2042. A statement to which my response is, what? Why? How did that happen? Yeah. How did you launch an online game that has because remember I think that you and I watched the trailer where they have their battle royale thing with the drops, the satellites.
It's like work with your team. It's
right.
But you can't.
Right. Apparently you can use the emotes or the marks and pings and stuff.
Well,
but
there's the party system on your consoles, I assume, but that means anybody who plays by themselves is just completely fucked.
Right. Yeah, it's really weird. It's really weird.
How do you that should be the one thing that should be in it when you release it. That's working.
Yeah.
What the absolute fuck?
I don't understand. I do not understand. So, at some point, I guess I'll be coming back here with a story where I'm like, hey, they finally added voice comms to Battlefield 2042.
And it doesn't work or something. Some weird shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know what led to this.
You think in the year 2042 they would have voice chat, but no, that's not a thing.
Very crazy.
All the radios were destroyed in the nuclear war, apparently.
Let's see. In other fuck-ups news, Nintendo... Okay, this is kind of a weird story because Nintendo had the earnings calls and all that stuff, and they actually had this internal document, or this document that was public, where they kind of go down all of the stuff going on. It's really dry. I looked at it, and there's one part in it that basically says that here's the quote. It says, last month we released Nintendo Switch Online Plus Expansion Pack, a new membership plan that adds content to the existing service. Going forward, we will continue to improve and expand both Nintendo Switch Online and Nintendo Switch Online Plus expansion packs, striving to provide services that satisfy consumers. This is literally the only statement that we've heard buried in an earnings call. It's not like Nintendo has come out and said like, hey, we're going to fix the emulation or hey, there's going to be more stuff coming, so the price increase will be worth it. This is kind of the only thing that we've gotten so far. I don't know. Do you think that eventually this service is going to be worthwhile financially?
Knowing Nintendo, no. Only because Nintendo sucks at online everything. Because they're the only game company, or they're the only of the 3 game companies who consistently resist online capabilities.
Yeah,
constantly. They're like that's one of the reasons all the Switch trailers originally were still very much like, you can go to your friend's barbecue or whatever where all your friends are hanging out.
Right.
Like, even though that's not like really a thing anymore.
Yeah.
Where people just randomly bring a Switch like that. Because for some reason they've always been like, they've always keep looking at it going, it's a fad, it'll go away.
Right.
Even though it hasn't gone away in like a decade. And even now this is what the PlayStation and Xbox did at the beginning,
right?
Kind of thing. Like, this isn't gonna fix itself for a while.
Yep.
Before it becomes even close to the goodness of having Xbox Live and its Game Pass and PlayStation Plus, in my opinion.
I think that what they to be honest, I think that what they really need to do with their expansion pack thing is if it turns out that expansions for first-party Nintendo games are all included in that expansion pack in a kind of a half a Game Pass way, like Shin Megami Tensei 5 just came out, right?
Yeah.
So like if there's an expansion to that, and then that is also included with expansion pass if you're buying expansion pass. Like they have the Animal Crossing thing, and my idea was that Nintendo can't bring themselves to do Game Pass and give away free games. They just can't. They love money too much. They can't fucking do that. But
they'll give away games that came out like in 1989.
Right. But that they might be willing to give away some expansion stuff as a way to entice people into but then the other thing is, I keep coming back to this, like, you know, it's $50 a year, I guess,
for the
expansion,
for everything, like, including the expansion.
That's not a shitload. I mean, I don't know.
Like the PlayStation one is like, what, 60?
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
I guess you get a lot of free games with that.
You get a lot of free shit with it, and you still have a voice chat.
Yeah,
you don't even have voice chat with Nintendo. Nintendo literally went, don't you guys have phones and Discord? Do that shit. I don't fucking care. Like, it's like, guys, you didn't even try.
Yeah, because isn't the way that you voice chat on like the official voice chat method for Switch that you install like the Switch phone app and then connect to people on your friends list and literally use your phone to chat with people?
Yeah, and at that point you just use Discord.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
or just call them. Yeah. With your telephone, with your cell phone telephone.
Like Nintendo literally did the don't you guys have phones like method, because there's no like ports or anything on the Switch controllers as far as I know for anything like that. Like the system itself could maybe do it, but even then, no.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Nintendo is really fucking bad at online. Everyone knows it. And that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why no one like even brings them up in conversation anymore when it comes to online gaming.
Yeah.
Like, period.
Come on, Doug Bowser, get your shit together. In other handheld news that is disappointing, the Steam Decks are not coming out this holiday.
Oh, no.
They've been delayed until 2022. Valve put out a press release basically saying, like, hey, we really thought that we had a plan to get around the kind of supply chain shortages of, different components for the system. It turns out we didn't, and so if you pre-ordered one, your pre-order has been updated to February of 2022. If you were one of the first people, if you came in after that it's like post February of 2022.
I bet you their plan was just finding a guy who found stuff in the back of that fell off the back of a truck or something.
No idea.
Material storage. Yeah, they're like, we found the material completely legitimately.
I mean, at this point, like, I can't exactly say, like, this is one of those things where I feel like, yeah, that's disappointing, but you shouldn't be like like fucking rending your garments and screaming to the heavens, like, this is just par for the fucking course, man. Like,
I'm not like as sarcastic as my no was. Like, it's more just because it's like you guys were just really, really ambitious and just didn't think about the current state of materials.
Yeah. So,
like the current state of every fucking person on the planet is having an issue with the material shortage right now.
Right.
Like whether it involves fucking construction or it involves making iPads or PlayStations or everything. Like there's nothing I know that is not running into that issue currently.
Grocery stores. I was just at the
Actually, they are.
store. Yeah.
The HEBs.
Oh, no. Yeah.
They the handheld baskets.
Yeah.
They can't.
They're
Can't
gone.
get enough of them.
Yeah. So our local
they're having shortages of materials and stuff.
Well, what I don't understand is where did the existing ones go?
Apparently, people steal them all the time.
What? They
Yeah.
all got stolen?
Apparently, they get stolen a lot, which is one of the reasons why this happens. Is because what they do is they just keep ordering them, and then they just keep getting them, so people don't even notice that they're just getting fucking taken.
But okay,
all
so
of the fucking time.
Hold on, let me just explain to the people at home. Like, okay, we have this local grocery store. It's HEB, and one of the things that I have noticed in going there is that they you can get a cart. Right?
Yeah.
Or you can get just like a little plastic basket with handles on it. And then over the last couple weeks when I go there ain't no plastic baskets anymore. So I went there last week and I bought a bunch of stuff. And I like, because I wanted to go and get some pastrami from the deli to make some sandwiches. And so I went there. So I ended up just carrying like my hands were I had like some tomatoes and some lunch meat and some like hoagie rolls, and I'm just carrying all this stuff like from my hands. Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah, I literally found this out because somebody on Reddit asked about it.
Yeah,
somebody was like, "Hey, did they get rid of them?" And then somebody who works for an HEB was like, "So here's the deal: people steal them all the fucking time. We usually order them so often, and then." So trucks and stuff will just drop them off with the next shipments or whatever.
Yeah.
But since there's been so many truck shortages and like just outright material shortages, we just aren't getting them.
I know what it is. When I went there, I went to go buy some granola bars for breakfast, and like I like the fancy those kind granola bars, and I went to the granola bar aisle, and it was mostly just cleaned out. Like there was like obviously a few there, but like a lot of that was not present. I was just like, damn. Even granola bars.
Truck shortages are a huge fucking issue right now.
Get this shit sorted.
That's
man.
why people are like keep saying that. Like that's why there's the people being like, they're ruining Christmas or whatever. It's because there's literally not enough of anywhere. Like even like the UK has it way worse than we do with truck shortages.
Yeah,
but it's bad. Yeah, it's real bad.
Well, speaking of delays and shortages, the Steam Deck isn't the only handheld gaming console to get delayed because the Playdate got delayed.
I forgot about that thing.
I love it. I want to buy one, but they're $179 and they're all back ordered to hell. But so the Playdate, for anybody who doesn't remember, is a little black and white handheld. It looks like a half a Game Boy, but then it's got a little crank on the side.
Yeah.
And it's like they were going to be putting it out, and it's going to have some indie games, and then they're actually putting out, I think in December, their programming thing so just anybody can make a game for it.
Oh, okay.
But it was supposed to be coming out this year. The story of this one is actually really interesting because they designed the battery to last a certain amount of time. They got the first run of units, and all the batteries were dead in them, and they were like, "Oh, that's no good." So they basically have to go back and redo the batteries. So
they're saying if some of them couldn't even just turn on. That's crazy.
Yeah, that they were so dead they couldn't turn on. Also, they had a problem with the main board, where they couldn't get the chip that they needed for it, but they found another chip that worked, because this is not exactly like a super high performance thing.
It's not like an iPad fucking level strength that they need.
Yeah. So, I like this thing. I like this crazy thing. I think the last time I had a chance to mention this was when I had Chris on the podcast, and he was just like, "That's stupid," and I'm like, "Yeah, I love it." And he's like,
super
"No, yeah."
We talked about when they announced it, and they had that video of the guy playing Doom, and he was using the crank to fire the chain gun. I was like, "That's kind of neat."
Yep, a lot of cool little games on there. I want one. Let's see. We also got an update last week from the developer of Scorn, which is that H.R. Giger first-person adventure game. Scorn has notoriously been like really has had like really sparse updates to their Kickstarter backers. Like it's been a year and nobody's said anything. And last week, the creative director for Scorn, I am not going to try to pronounce this, Ljubomir.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Peklar posted this. It was like 15 paragraph update. It basically said, like, it's an interesting update because it shows like, hey, it's like we're an indie studio. There was a certain point where we had to scrap 90% of this game. Like we had to start over again. We had to switch engines at one point, blah, 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 blah. You know, all the stuff you would expect from a newer indie game studio kind of going through development hell. But then at the very end, there was this last paragraph where they said, and for the end, a bit of friendly advice. If lack of communication is so bothersome, just ask for a refund and be done with it. It's just a game. You can play it when it's out if you are still interested.
Oh, that's a terrible thing to say to the internet. That was a terrible fucking thing to say to the internet.
Now, I want to be really clear here. Like, I actually don't think that this is an unreasonable thing to say. I think that I'm with you where I think this is an unreasonable thing to say to the internet. Yeah. But I think that, like, if you are a part of an indie game studio and you guys are having problems and you're trying as hard as you can to get this game out that people are really interested in, and people are just constantly breathing down your neck, like on social media, I can see getting all fucked up one day and writing what you assume is just kind of a little passive aggressive. Like, I'm just throwing just a little stank on it. Not a lot, just a little stank
just a little
on
bit.
it. And of course, fucking people went berserk and they were like, I want my money back.
Don't say, hey, you should just ask for a refund.
Yeah.
With the only fucking bit of like, oh my god, this is a Kickstarter. The one where they're giving you the money to make the thing.
Yep.
This is a terrible idea to do that. It would be fine if that was like a pre-order or something. And you were a giant fucking game studio. This was the worst possible thing that you could have done on the Kickstarter.
This, to me, is another great example of, like, I get why it happens, but, like, if you are an indie developer, you still need to have a social media person, somebody who is not directly emotionally involved with the people that they are talking to online.
Yeah, you need the guy who's just like, don't worry, we'll have an update for you guys soon.
Yep.
And then that's the only thing they really say.
Yep.
Like that guy who consistently does that.
Corporate puke, no, like, yeah, just, hey, working as hard as we can. Great Friday. I want to just say thanks to everybody
thanks for
again.
asking for an update reply, but we'll get to you as soon as we can.
We don't have anything.
Looking forward to telling you what we have or whatever.
Yep.
Something crazy.
Hope you all have a great Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. We'll talk to you next time, you know. So they put out another update that was like, I'm the CEO and also the creative director. I take full responsibility for the last update. I quickly and haphazardly read through the draft of the update and in all my wisdom approved it. Reading through again, it was clear that the hostile tone it was written in should not be how we should express ideas or plans to people that help us out. We may be tired, confused, and frustrated at our own ineptitude, but there is no reason to lash out to you. For that, I personally apologize and will do my best for this kind of outburst not to happen again. And then we're going to have updates for you on Monday. Thank you very much. Good night. I mean, what it kind of reminds me of, though, is do you remember how sassy the developer of Ooblets was?
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Or when they got Epic Game exclusivity and people just lost their fucking ever-loving shit, and it was like, yep.
At that point, though, it makes sense for them to have that with that process because at that point, Epic was like giving them fuck you money.
Right.
These guys don't have fuck you money.
No. I don't know. They are. I thought that this was. I'm going to be mistaken. Is this going on Game Pass?
I don't even know.
I think they showed it at one of the Microsoft things, and maybe that confused me. But
the issue is that like there's still plenty of that funding came from Kickstarter.
Yeah,
and I think Ooblets at that point was kind of already done.
Yeah. I guess I just have a fair amount. It's because I listened to that fucking Jason Schreier book, and I just heard like story after story after story after story of developers going out on a limb, and like the whole thing is that everybody does this. Most of the people in this industry do this stuff because they like video games. They're not doing it to get rich.
It all comes down to, again, I get why they said it. I get why they did it. Because I get frustrated. You get frustrated. We've all had that moment where we want to tell someone, hey, fucking just like leave me alone for like a little bit.
Yeah.
While I'm trying to get this thing done. And we don't mean to say it the way we end up saying it, kind of thing. And that's what happened. And the issue is that normally you can just apologize to whoever you said it to. But the issue is that when you set it to the entirety of the internet, who gave you a bunch of money to make a thing, they're not going to take it as well as, like, say your coworker or something.
Yeah.
So it sucks that that's like what happened. But you really should be careful with that sort of thing, in this instance at least.
Yep.
Especially saying if you want a refund, because at that point they're going to be like, "Oh, is that what you want?" Because I'm going to fucking do it.
Yep. Let's see. Good news, better news. Jeff Keighley briefly had an interview where he talked about all the stuff that's going to be coming in the Game Awards. One of the things,
really now,
yeah. He didn't talk about anything specific, but they talked about there's going to be 40 to 50 games.
Oh my god!
Included in the show, one way or the other.
Are there going to be awards at some point, Jeff?
Yes. Apparently, one of the things that Keighley said was that they're going to have less like. They're not going to have like the musical numbers.
I forgot that was a thing.
Or any of the faffing around. Apparently, he was just like
faffing. What the fuck does that mean?
That was me. That was my editorializing.
I'm curious, but what does that mean? You're not explaining to me.
Screwing around.
Why don't you just say screwing around then?
Because faffing about sounds better.
Does it though? It sounds like he's masturbating on camera.
Britishism. Anyway, basically, like he said that. Like they know what people want, and what people want are awards and game trailers, and that is what they're focusing on this year is awards and fucking new game trailers. Like no other stuff. Now, I would say to Jeff Keighley that if there was one thing besides game trailers and awards that I would like to see more of in the Game Awards, it would be skits that involve Muppets. Because the Goose Game Muppet skit was one of the best things I've ever seen.
That was amazing
at the Game Awards. So
that was the whole reason to watch that show.
In fact, if you want to take the awards out and just make it game trailers and Muppet skits, like if you want to do that Mark Hamill thing, but just like hosted by the Muppets, and like a Muppet Jeff Keighley. No. Regular Jeff Keighley interacting with the Muppets, doing little skits, and then like we show a game trailer, and then we do little skits. Take all the awards out. I don't give a fuck who the best streamer of 2020 was.
So you want it to be that old Nintendo Direct where they literally just had Muppets of everybody?
Yes.
Because that was a fun time.
I want that to be yes.
That was a good time, guys.
I think you need to drop the pretense of giving away prestigious awards to stupid categories for,
They don't even really give awards to prestigious categories. Like because, we talked about it where they're like, I hear the awards for these, and it was literally just like a list. And they didn't even say what it was. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, here's the trailer for Crash Bandicoot. Like, that was literally what they did for one of them. Yeah. And I felt so bad because all these people were really excited, only for them to just throw them all in like a giant chunk within like 10 seconds. And they're like, you didn't see it? I don't give a fuck. Here's the trailer.
Also, Keighley said that they are, quote, not doing any NFT stuff, unquote.
Yay.
I fucking hate the like... I hate this NFT bullshit so much. It's just like, nobody wants this. Nobody wants this. Like, there's a small group of people and then like hedge fund investors that want this shit, and they are just jamming it into games. They keep jamming it. Like it's like a square peg and games is a round hole, and they just keep bashing the NFT block up against that hole, trying to get it in there.
It's the whole executive thing where they're like, the millennials are really into this right now.
Right.
But they're not.
But no.
Like, no one is actually into this at all.
Nobody wants NFTs. God,
there's an entire Twitter I think that's called Crypto Bros posting their L's, and it's like 90% just NFT related right now. Just like NFT people fucking losing their fucking minds over just dumb shit.
Shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah, just
shut it all down.
No one wants NFTs in any game stuff.
I don't even want cryptocurrency. I think they should shut that shit down too. Eradicate the blockchain. Down with blockchain. Like as a concept. Fuck you. It's never done anything.
It's ruined a lot of
outside
things.
Of being irritating. It's just irritating to my mind is what it is, and I wish it to go away.
It's literally just made up money. You guys put the amount of currency on top of what
it's a reason for Logan Paul to like fleece his fucking fans for money, or like the NFTs that they're selling that are like these like it's a really bad picture of a gorilla, but this one has sunglasses
on. It's like
on.
A chimpanzee with like a robot face.
God, what the fuck is this? What is this? This is insanity. Stop it, please.
It's dumb. This is one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. Like none of them are even good. People spend like thousands on them when they could have got a really good commission from Matt Frank.
Yep. Let's see. From there, speaking of new games, we got a brief teaser on the 7th, on N7 Day for the new Mass Effect. It's a kind of nifty little image. It's like a stylized...
Matt should make NFTs. Of just Godzilla wearing different sunglasses.
Stylized crater that looks like a Geth from Mass Effect.
Oh, okay.
And it's like... got some people walking away from a ship. People have poured over this image. At this point, BioWare needs to show me that they still have enough competence as a studio to make a video game before I get excited about any of their bullshit.
See, what the gag is it's going to turn out that they just used all the Anthem items and stuff and just made a Mass Effect game.
I'm so fucking salty. I'm so salty about that still. I was the you of Anthem. I liked that game. I actually enjoyed it. I wanted them to fix it and make it more fun because flying around in an Iron Man suit blasting on guys was fun. I liked it. It was fun.
That poor fucking game. That poor game.
It even had good lore. It was a little meh, but like people, goddamn. So yeah, Mass Effect. Or I don't know, anything Mass Effect. Does this mean anything to you?
Well, I like Mass Effect, but the issue is that after Andromeda, I'm not just going to be like, yeah, more Mass Effect. I'm just going to like, show me what you got, and then I'll be excited at this point.
Like, don't pre-order it. Let's see what the reviews say.
Yeah.
Let's wait for Twitter to post gifs of.
It keeps happening to us, guys. You guys got to stop.
Yeah.
I pre-ordered Avengers, but at least I've been playing it forever and ever.
Yeah. Yep. Speaking of playing one thing forever and ever, we got Skyrim again.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Skyrim is back. Michael, Skyrim. Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim Anniversary Edition.
Stop it. Stop it, Skyrim.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Relive the adventure. Go play Skyrim.
What is the name of Todd Howard?
Yep.
Stop it, Todd. You fucking quit your bullshit.
The thing that's actually kind of interesting about this version is that it's the original version, it's all of the DLC, and it's 500, I believe, of the best mods that came through have been like rolled into the game. So like they show
there's like Master Chief mod and the giant titty mod or whatever.
No giant titty mod. It's more like there's a fishing mod and there's like some new quests.
Well,
and
that's dumb.
Enemies and stuff.
Is there a murder the children's mod?
No.
Oh, well, that's dumb then.
I don't think there are. Oh, yes, there are children, and there is a mod that lets you murder them. And actually, that's...
But I mean in this release is what I mean.
Not in this release.
Because that's the important question.
It's no, it's good that you bring this up because apparently upgrading to this version could actually break your mods if you're doing it on PC. So you got to be careful and check to see if the mods are compatible with this new version. Apparently... So if you have the previous version, it's $20 to upgrade to this version. If you have the PS5 or the Xbox Series X, it's free, which is why I was able to just straight up download it on my PS5.
Oh.
The thing, and this is what I really want to talk about, is that if you don't already own Skyrim, this version of Skyrim is $50 American dollars.
Really?
This is a 10-year-old video game. Like, it may be a very good game, but like... I think that's way too much. I think that should be $30 at the highest because games do not hold their value for infinity. And you just watched this trailer. Do you think that this looks good enough on like quote unquote next gen to warrant a $50 price tag?
No, I would do it max 40, and that's only because of all of the mod stuff that they did.
Yeah,
but I don't think I would spend 50 on something like this.
I think 50 is too much.
Unless it has the Thomas the Tank Engine mod. When you can make all the dragons Thomas the Tank Engine. Or the Macho Man Randy Savage one.
I wonder if...
Then you're playing with some fire.
I wonder if Wheatley is in the console versions now. Remember, he falls from the sky.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's not Wheatley. It's just like the space sphere.
One of the spheres. Because, it's the one that says space or whatever, I think, is the one that comes down.
Guys, I have news for you. Like, Skyrim's okay, but like, Jesus God, play it once and then be done with it. Like,
yeah, I played it once a decade ago.
Yeah,
and I was like, no, I'm good. I don't need any more of this. And then that was it.
I play it once a year with Jason just to fuck around, but like, I'm not playing it in between. Yeah, Skyrim.
Hooray!
Get your Skyrim, man. Skyrim. I wanted to put Skyrim on that play date. on the little crank.
It could happen.
You got to crank up your foos. Your foos. You got to crank it up before you can say foos.
If it's on that Alexa, it could be done.
Yeah. Yeah. So that happened. Let's see. It wouldn't be a Rage Select podcast, Michael, if we didn't talk about Activision Blizzard at least once. So apparently this is actually a very good story. Well, sort of. It's ish.
Okay.
It's interesting because a better ABK Alliance, which is the kind of burgeoning workers union there that's trying to put pressure on Blizzard Activision, basically said like, what did they say, which is kind of interesting. Here's a quote. Yeah. We have learned from contractors across ABK that they are being forced to take mandatory unpaid leave during holidays, putting them in immediate financial and housing crisis. Displacing workers who help create the products that generate ABK's revenue is inhumane. I think this is really interesting because as somebody who's been a contract worker a whole bunch in my life, it's like that's part of the deal.
No, absolutely. I did contract work for a couple of my jobs when I first got out here.
Yeah, is that like we're going to be closed and you're going to go home and you're not going to get fucking paid like over holidays. But apparently, the result of this is that they are upping contractors' hourly pay to $17 an hour, and they're giving them what was it like 13 paid holidays.
That's pretty good, actually.
That's excellent. Now, part of this. There's a little like, because part of this is that apparently this is in San Diego, and they, Santa Monica. Okay. And Santa Monica last summer increased the minimum wage to like $15. So it's not like they would have had to raise it a little bit anyway.
Well, that's because California is living. What is the term?
Cost of living.
Cost of living is massive.
Yeah. So it's good that they're getting some more money. I mean, I think that so I have a really big bone to pick with this because once upon a time I was working at a job that was just fine, and some guy came in and was like, "Hey, I want to like headhunt you to do this other job," and it was the first time I was a 1099 independent contractor, and I think that most places in the United States, they literally use contractors in an illegal fashion. Like if you look at the law, like an independent contractor should be allowed to set their own hours. So you can't tell an independent contractor you've got to be in here at 9 a.m. because they're hired to do a job, not to be an employee. If you're an employee, you can tell me I got to come to work at 8 a.m. But if you hire me as a contractor, it's up to me, like what I do. Like the company doesn't provide you tools. You provide your own tools to do that job. And I feel like most companies break that system by basically just being like, well, you're an employee, but I just don't have to pay any health benefits to you.
Yeah, you get no PTO, you get no insurance.
Yeah.
Like you don't, like you're just, that's how you are. And a lot of them, it's because it's that they provide all the stuff for it, of course. Like all the stuff I've ever done were customer support related when I did contract stuff. So it's not like there were my phones or anything or computers. So it's really like part of it. And there's a lot of times you work with a specific company or whatever that's contracting you with them or whatever.
Yeah.
Just a lot of shit like that. And it's part of the deal is that you are going to be there and just like hope for the best. And and some of them might hire you to be a full-time employee, and it just varies from place to place.
Yep. I mean, even like there was the old structure, right, where you were a temp, right?
Yeah.
But when you're a temp, you technically work for the temp agency. So you're an employee of the temp agency. So then they can tell you like when you have to show up for work. But the thing, and I don't know, like somebody can come into the comments and tell me if I'm wrong, but when I read the US code for what like a 1099 independent contractor is, this is like when you call somebody and you're like, I need you to build a deck. Yeah. And they're like, okay, well, I can probably do it on Thursday. And you're like, whatever. And then it's like they come and do the whole thing and you don't get to dictate. You don't go out and tell the guy, like, hey, you only have 30 minutes for lunch, and then you need to get back onto making this deck for me, because that's not what a contractor is. A contractor is somebody you hire to do a job, and for the most part, you're supposed to leave them alone to do the job, not like breathe down their neck like an employee. Like if you want an employee, you're supposed to hire people, and if you want a contractor, you get a contractor. But we've fucked up that whole system to the point where it's like a lot of contractors are just treated like employees, and they have to come and do stuff.
All of that stuff is usually like when it comes to the business world.
Yeah,
like all the contractors get not screwed over, but like that happening to them all involve business type things. Because construction wise, those people are still treated the same as normal contractors,
sure,
and so forth and so forth. Like the ones that are, outside of that sort of thing. But yeah.
When I got hired for that job as an independent contractor and I was basically an employee, I before I quit, I went to the person that I worked for and I was like, "You guys realize that you're breaking federal law here, right? Because like you're treating me like a contractor, but then you're telling me where to go and what to do and making me show up." And they were just like, "We don't care." And I was like, "Okay, well, I quit then. Bye."
That's the thing, yeah.
We also had a story this week from Ubisoft doling out pay raises. Apparently, over the last few years, Ubisoft has just been bleeding like good talent.
Like, I'm not surprised at all.
People are just leaving Ubisoft in droves. So they basically announced across-the-board increase, and this is in Canada, in their Canadian studios, Ubisoft Canada, across-the-board increase to everybody's pay. However, it wouldn't be Ubisoft unless they did it all stupid and fucked up. It's a percentage raise. Junior staff will receive a 5 to 7% increase. Senior staff could see their pay increase up to 20%. So, like, if you make $50K a year, you might be eligible for a $2,500 raise over the course of a year. If you make $100K a year, you might see as much as $20,000 in additional benefits. So...
not only that, you can use the Ezio all the Ezio Assassin's Creed skin in any game you want.
Right.
It's like, what? No.
Yeah.
But you got to have the Ubisoft account or whatever so you can get it.
I think it's interesting, the idea that Ubisoft might end up collapsing just because they won't address the problems internally, and so their games just get crappier and crappier because everybody's like, no, I'm not going to work for Ubisoft. Like,
well, they had the
fuck
issue.
that.
They had the issue that Activision Blizzard's having currently a while back.
Yeah,
and this is what happens when you don't address it in any shape, way, or form.
Yeah,
like this is the outcome. Sure, it didn't happen immediately, but eventually the outcome was bound to happen anyways.
It seems to me as an outsider that what happened was that a lot of this abuse came out. Ubisoft said, "We'll take care of it." Everyone at Ubisoft was like, "Okay, we're waiting." And then after like 8 months, they were like, "Okay, I get it. You're not going to do anything. I'm just going to fucking go somewhere else."
They were just like, "Is the press gone yet?"
Yeah.
Okay, now we're back to what we're doing.
Well, actually, that ties into our next story because there is also a group called A Better Ubisoft, which actually just recently put out they had a kind of an internal like a kind of a petition from their internal members.
Yeah.
And they just recently basically opened that petition up to the entire internet, and they were just like, anybody can sign this. And they've got a Twitter account that specifically like posts, because I actually went and signed it. I was like, yeah, sure, man. But you can write something. I didn't write anything, but you can write like, why do you think that these issues should be addressed?
Yeah.
And they post like quotes from people on their petition on their Twitter. But they have some demands. They have 4 demands that they want. And they just recently came out with this publicly, and they said, stop promoting and moving known offenders from studio to studio, team to team with no repercussions. The cycle needs to end. We want a collective seat at the table to have a meaningful say in how Ubisoft as a company moves forward from here. Cross-industry collaboration to agree to a set of ground rules and processes that all studios should use to handle these offenses in the future, and this collaboration must heavily involve employees in non-management positions and union representatives. I think all that sounds relatively reasonable.
They sound fairly reasonable. The second one is the one that you can construe in any different specific way.
Yeah.
So that one I can see them fighting against, but the others seem fine.
Yeah. I think that's fine. Well, I mean, the problem here is that Ubisoft has not even begun the process of trying to do this shit. It's like they just keep... I'm wondering if it's ever going to become clear to them that it's like, this is not going away. You have to address it. You can't ignore it out of existence.
They're only slightly noticing it, especially with the pay raise thing, but it's clear that they're still half-assing it with the fact that you mentioned, it could be up to Because the could be up to is always like the worst fucking thing you can tell somebody when it comes to anything.
Yes, 100%.
You can sell knives and it could be up to.
In good
every time.
Company news, my favorite video game publisher of all time, Devolver Digital, went public this week. They went public on the London Stock Exchange with a valuation of $950 million.
That's really good for them,
which is great. I actually looked at their stock because I do not own any stocks or bonds, but I would be interested in owning a little piece of Devolver Digital. Devolver Digital stock, there's 7,800 shares of it, and currently it's like $200 basically for a share. So
really?
It's like $190-$180. So I might start the process of buying a little Devolver here, a little Devolver there. You know,
might do it. I don't know.
Throw a little Devolver in. Then maybe I could go meet Nina Struthers finally and make my move. You know, there's the woman of my dreams. She's got to be somewhere.
It's just going to be the VR version of her, and you know it.
That's right. She's gonna punch me in the balls.
Oh, 100%.
And then
sell it to you on a tape.
Yes,
that's only one version of that.
She's gonna punch me in the balls with an NFT, and I'm gonna just be like, "Oh, God damn it! I love you so much." So the other thing that they announced is that they acquired 3 studios. They acquired Dodge Roll that made Enter the Gungeon, which is great. That's a
yes.
The whole story of Dodge Roll is on that Jason Schreier thing I keep talking about, and it's great. Nariel, that made Reigns and Card Shark. Do you know Reigns is the?
I can't really say.
It's like the Game of Thrones thing where you like flip the card left or right.
Oh, that one.
And it's got like the 4 different meters.
Yeah, we did that one time.
Yeah,
I think.
Reigns is pretty cool. And Firefly Studios that made the Stronghold series.
Okay.
Yeah, which is great. I'm 100% now. Part of this, according to GI.biz, word has it that Sony invested grabbed 5% of the stock when it was available.
It's a good move. It's a good move, Sony.
Yeah, I do not want. Under no circumstances do I want Devolver Digital to become a subsidiary of Microsoft, Sony, or anybody. I want them 100% independent the way that they are right now because I love the fact that they answer to no one and do whatever the fuck they want.
They're the biggest wild card in gaming right now, and
Yep.
I can't help but love them for that.
Yes, I agree. Yeah. Let's see. And then last, before we jump into the trailers, this is a very weird thing that happened. So there was this person on Twitter that posted this kind of idea about having Discord have cryptocurrency integration in it. And then one of the developers at Discord replied to that with this image saying probably nothing. And it was a picture of Discord with an integration of MetaMask and Wallet Connect that are 2 crypto wallet apps.
Yeah.
And immediately everybody went, fuck no. There was an incredibly big backlash. People said they were starting to cancel their Discord accounts. They came out and basically said, they basically came out and said, like, hey, this was like a prototype thing that we were working on. We're not actually putting this into Discord. This is just something that we were messing around with. Like, please stop. Don't worry. No. But I'm glad to see the big, huge backlash against the against crypto NFTs and all that bullshit.
Well, it's because the normal populace doesn't give a fuck about either of those things.
Yes.
Because the amount of money it takes to actually make crypto work is so much that it would be fucking pointless.
Yeah. Yep. So, boo. All right, Michael. We've got about 15 more minutes.
Oh, geez.
Do you have any more guesses for
that thing?
The thing that we're coming to? Toomba. Nope. Too mainstream, buddy. Too mainstream.
Is Toomba mainstream?
Yep.
Is that the thing?
We got some trailers this week. One of them we got was for Lies of P. Do you remember Lies of P? Was the Bloodborne Pinocchio game?
Oh, that thing.
Michael, I gotta tell you, I didn't make Michael watch any of these trailers ahead of time. Michael, I gotta tell you, this game looks like it fucking slaps. It looks like it slaps real fucking hard. Like, it looks like Bloodborne, but with all these like weird marionette puppet enemies. Here, let me get to where they're actually doing like action and stuff. Like, it looks amazing. It's kind of this like weird kind of French aesthetic to it. And like, I mean, there's parts of this that literally look like they were taking from Bloodborne. Like there are weapons that look like they are from Bloodborne. There are actions that the character is taking that look like they literally come directly out of Bloodborne or Dark Souls.
Wow.
But yeah, even this weapon, they got the big saw blade on the stick, like from the old Hunters. Like it looks like a big, huge ass ripoff. But then there's some other cool stuff, like there's like a grappling hook for pulling people.
So what is the plot of this thing?
You're Pinocchio.
So you are Pinocchio.
Yeah. No, the main character is Pinocchio. You got to fight all these puppet motherfuckers that are out there. I don't know. That's as much as I know.
I had no idea that I had no idea that you were Pinocchio specifically.
Yeah,
that's fucking crazy.
It looks great. I kind of love it. Like,
Jesus Christ, that actually does look kind of cool.
I hate Pinocchio. I hate the Pinocchio story. I find it really boring. But like, I kind of like the fact that it's just Bloodborne. Like,
I'm cool with that.
It's just Bloodborne. Yeah. So, if you guys haven't, go watch the official alpha gameplay teaser for Liza P, because it kind of rules.
It's kind of amazing actually. I actually kind of want to try this.
Yeah. Let's see. From there, we got a launch trailer for Shin Megami Tensei 5. There's not a lot more here. Mostly, I guess I just feel the need to keep talking about Shin Megami Tensei 5 because it looks pretty cool, and I have yet to play it. But
Wild 9.
What's that?
I'm sorry, it's an old PS1 game.
Oh,
that I was thinking of.
No.
Okay.
Not Wild 9.
That one's pretty obscure.
Not Wild 9.
It's made by the guys who did Earthworm Jim.
Yeah. It's newer than that. Newer than that.
Shit, I have no idea.
Yeah, looks pretty cool. Let's see. Visage is getting a PlayStation 5 update. Michael, I don't know if you know what Visage is. It was a game that Amanda and I played last year that was so scary we turned it off before any ghost showed up.
Oh, I didn't know that was on consoles.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, we played it on PS4 last year.
Yeah, I saw Funhouse play this years ago.
Yeah, it's been on Steam for a while, but they're coming back with a PS5 version.
They're gonna scare you as shit.
It was too oppressive. I was too scared. But then Amanda and I played that indie horror game with the house for the asylum where nothing happened outside of just like some weird glitching and a guy yelling through a tape recorder. We're just like, too scary, turn it off. Like, I'm fine when it's Poppy's playtime and Poppy comes and chases you around, but like, I don't want to get jump scared. Yeah.
That one's actually, that game is legitimately scary, Visage.
Yeah, so yeah, Visage is coming out on the PS5. It is out currently.
Yeah, had no idea.
Yeah. And then last on the trailer side, this week, this is more of just kind of an announcement, but they spun out the Tiny Tina Assault on Dragon Keep DLC into a standalone executable that you can grab on consoles and PC for $10. It was actually free on the Epic Game Store last week.
That's nice.
Yeah, which I actually never played this because it was like the last DLC for Borderlands 2. And
yeah, it was the very last DLC for Borderlands 2, and a lot of people just hated Tiny Tina in general.
I am one of them. But I don't know. Maybe we'll go back and look at it. It's weird because I go back, I watch this trailer, and I'm just like, I do not like the sense of humor of Borderlands. Like, I think that the Borderlands sense of humor comes off to me as a real like teenager kind of thing.
Yeah, I was the right age when it first came out, but ever since I look back and I'm like, maybe I'll do it again. I can't get past it anymore because I don't find it funny anymore.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. So Tiny Tina,
which I know how that sounds coming from people who make dick jokes. But you know what I mean.
Sophisticated dick jokes.
We try at least.
Sophisticated dick jokes. We also had, there was a whole animated, this is interesting, I didn't put this up here, but there was a whole animated 5-minute trailer for the Among Us
I heard
update.
about this, yeah, actually.
Yeah. Lots of shit out in Among Us. The first thing that they talked about was there are now these cubes that have various cosmetics in them. There are some that you can buy with in-game points, and there are some that you can buy with real-world money. There's beans and then little like medals. In the trailer, they literally are just like, yes, we need money. We need money to live. So like, here are some cosmetics that you can buy if you would like. It doesn't affect the game in any way, shape, or form. Like, go for it.
I'm really happy with how this turned out.
Yeah.
because Among Us is a game is one of those like good feel good type of stories. It's like, oh, we made this game, no one heard about it, like we released it and then no one fucking talked about it. We were working on a part 2 at that point because like, oh, maybe we can make a better one and people will like it. And then somebody streams it and then fucking everyone plays it from then on.
Right.
And they literally canceled the sequel because like, oh, we can just keep updating this thing forever, and because it's so like easily made or whatever, at least it's on their side, I guess. And then it just went from there, and it's kind of amazing.
They also have achievements was a new thing, and then they added this whole they added all the new roles. So we talked about the shapeshifter role that was in there before, but they added 3 new roles besides that. So you've got shapeshifters. There is a new class called the scientist that can at any time pull up a pad to see the status of the characters, like whether they're alive or dead. So you don't know where they are, but you can tell if they're alive or dead, which would seem to be like a good foil for the shapeshifter, right? Because if you see someone's dead and then you see that person walking around, it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. Then there's the engineer, which there are a bunch of vents on the map, and the engineer can use the vents to go different places. I think that if I'm not mistaken, the imposter can also do that, right? They can use the vents to quick travel between areas. And then there's a last one called the Guardian Angel. I don't have any idea how this works, Michael, but apparently if you die and you get the role of Guardian Angel, you, as a ghost in Among Us, can put a shield on a character that will protect them from one hit from the imposter. So if the imposter tries to kill them, it literally doesn't kill them.
Wow. That's kind of fun.
No idea how that's going to work. Like if everybody gets to be a guardian angel when they're dead, or if like you can't tell who's already got the shield on, or like what the whole thing is there. But it's kind of an interesting twist. And then
all one of those things where, because I think the way the game is that you're given the role ahead of time.
Yeah.
So I guess it might be one of those things where you're just given that role, and then when you die, then it activates or something.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It could be like that.
Makes sense. All this stuff can be turned on or turned off, which is great. So, yeah.
That's badass.
Yeah.
Also, I heard the trailer is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. A little 5-minute animated trailer.
Yeah.
Cool stuff. Let's see. Baba Is You. Remember Baba Is You?
Vaguely?
It was a thing where it was like you were a little rabbit, and then you would have like words, and you could move the words around. So it'd be like Baba is you, or you could say like fire is death, and then you could replace death with like life, and then you could move through the fire.
That's interesting.
Yeah, Amanda and I played this as it was an indie game that came out a few years back. They're putting out a huge new update called Baba Make Level, which has a level editor that you can then use to create new levels and share them online. It also has 150 of the best community-driven levels have been added in as a free update.
Oh, so that's fun.
Pretty cool.
Level designers are all the rage right now.
What's that? Level designers? Yeah.
They're all the rage.
Yep. I agree.
Halo, I think, was the first one that I ever really got into. Although they've been doing it for years. Other places have been doing it for years. I'm not saying Halo started it, because the first one that I remember ever seeing what an editor for was Duke Nukem 3D.
That
was a long time ago.
All right, Michael, it's time. Do you have one more guess before we go?
Okay. You said it was a Sony Sony.
You know what? I'm gonna say it was. I believe it was a PS4 game.
It was a PS4 game?
Yes. Sony shut it down, and it's coming back, and it's a real weird story.
I have no fucking idea. Then
okay,
that's way too new for me to have an idea for.
And we played it on Rage Select. Here, let me look it up here. I'm gonna vamp for a second.
Are you looking up the Rage Select video?
Well, no, I'm just looking up. Let's see. Yeah, came out in 2014. No, 2016. For the PlayStation 4, made by Q Games.
I have no idea.
It was an online game. It was called The Tomorrow Children. Remember this?
I don't, actually.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
I have no recollection of any of this.
The Tomorrow Children was a really weird online game that had this like crazy Russian aesthetic to it, where you played as these like little kind of doll-like characters, and you would work together to build stuff online. It came out. It didn't do very well. Sony shut it down And apparently, Q Games has been working for the last few years to repurchase the rights to it so that they can reactivate it, and they have managed to do that. So they managed to do that. And apparently they've been working on it to make it more fun and make it better. And at some point in the near future, they're going to be re-releasing it. So
I have no recollection of any
you don't
of this.
know. You don't remember the Tomorrow
I really
Children?
don't. I honestly don't remember any of this.
I mean, I have to sometimes remember that I'm like. Well,
if it was an online only game, you remember that was when I first got here.
Yeah,
and I was still very into my jobs at that point. Mm-hmm. So it probably wasn't even something that was even on my radar.
Well, I also have to remember that nobody that I know, and that includes the audience of Rage Select and myself and every human being that I know on the planet, spends as much time poring over fucking news and what's coming out every week as I do, because I've literally recorded 10 videos a week for the last 8.5 years. So
yeah, I have no recollection.
You've never heard.
I'm looking at this trailer that you've pulled up.
Yeah,
and I have no recollection of ever seeing this.
Okay, well there you go. It's very strange. It was a very weird game. It had a very weird aesthetic. It had this real weird communist Russia thing, and you're in this weird open world, and you work together to build stuff, and it was really weird. And I played it, and it didn't seem very fun, and so I stopped playing it. And apparently, it's coming back. So
good for them for believing enough in the idea that they went out of their way to get it back.
Yeah. Yep. Let's see. The Far Cry 6 Voss DLC has a release date. The first one of those, which is coming out on November 16th. So this week it'll be out. It's going to be, I think it's I don't know how much it is. The season pack is $40. I'm assuming they're going to charge 15 to 20 a piece. But
that sounds right.
The other thing I didn't realize is that apparently this is a roguelike.
I didn't know that either. Yeah, I saw that word pop up there. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, where you have to start out and then you have to go and get stuff. So I don't know.
I still remember that fucking Far Cry 3 live action video they made years ago. Mm-hmm. I think it was really cool.
I don't know if I remember that.
It was an old commercial it was a commercial for Far Cry 3 that they did. They got the guy who played McLovin from Superbad.
Huh.
And it was about him being on the island and Vaz fucking with him, and it ends with him being buried the way those guys were or whatever.
Oh, on the cover?
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah, it ends up with him like that.
Yeah.
Just screaming for help or something, if I remember. It was a long time ago. Most people forgot it even happened.
I forgot
it was it was like a short film, basically.
I had to remember about the Tomorrow Children, so I forgot that trailer happened.
You replaced it with the Tomorrow Children?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And let's see. We also... this is a silly thing. This week, apparently, Netflix is making an anime based on Devil May Cry, and Eddie Shankar is doing it, the guy who did Castlevania, and he came out to say that Chris Pratt will not be voicing any of the characters in this, and the internet was like, haha, I see what you did there.
I love that became a meme where it's Chris Pratt's voicing everybody.
Yeah.
I think my favorite of those jokes was look, just because what you say about Chris Pratt, sure he won't see it, but your friend's voiced by Chris Pratt will see it.
And then we got a couple of really fun things. Michael, I've been trying to get you to play Dark Souls for a long time. Do you remember a little while back where there was this crazy motherfucker that put Halo maps in Dark Souls?
No, I don't remember that at all.
Okay.
I feel like I would. I should remember something like that.
Well, there's a crazy motherfucker that put Halo maps in Dark Souls, and he's now gone through and put Halo guns in Dark Souls. So he went through and literally there's this 22-minute video that I watched today where he went through and talked about the process of how he got all of the guns.
The grenades in there too.
Yep, the sticky grenades. He got the needler, and you could play through the single player with these guns.
That's fucking insane.
Yeah, there's a shitload of stuff in here. Let me say, this is from Inferno Plus, and the name of the video is Dark Souls, except it's incredibly cursed. Apparently he hid one, you have to find the weapons. He put one on every map, and there are 13 total to get. And then he also made some multiplayer maps for people to kind of play this weird hybrid Dark Souls
so fucking insane
Halo thing.
Holy shit.
Yeah, he talked about this is a really interesting video that I think everybody should go check out, because he talks about how in order to get the sounds of the guns in, you can't add new audio files to Dark Souls, but there are a lot of unused audio files in the game, so you can take those and then add the gun noises that you need into them. But then he said that like in every map, if you go off and clip, like you'll find that there's a place that you can't see on the map where there are 3 characters just T-posing, and it's because those characters have to be loaded so that the sounds can be routed from them into the guns, basically.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, it's really in depth. Like, this guy, he's an insane person. He created custom animations for reloading and for every single gun. He did a really good job. Like,
yeah, I'm watching this and it's like, God, really fucking amazing.
like one of the big things with Dark Souls is that the first person shooting reticle is terrible, and so he did a lot of work on that. This mod also has like a shitload of new weapons and spells and all kinds of other things, a lot of which are just straight up able to break the game. But yeah, it's pretty cool looking. Like,
That's fucking insanity.
So, and then he goes into just all of the technical details of trying to do this stuff. And it's pretty cool. It actually is integrated really, really well.
That's fucking insane.
Yep.
Oh my God. Never change, internet. Never fucking change.
Like here he's talking about how, like, would it be a problem if when you shot the needler there wasn't a pause and then the little needles exploded? Probably not. But I wanted it to happen. So I spent a whole day figuring out how to make it happen.
My God. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's an interesting video. I highly recommend everybody go watch it. It's also pretty funny. And last but not least, hey everybody, are you ready to feel old? Last week Unpacking came out.
Yes.
And in Unpacking, you have to unpack a bunch of stuff and put all the things in the rooms they're supposed to be in. And like if you get to the end of a level and like your toothbrush is in the bedroom, it's like no, you have to go put your toothbrush in the bathroom where it goes. Well, it turns out that there are a bunch of people on the internet that were very confused by one object in Unpacking, and it's time to feel old, everybody. It was the Nintendo GameCube.
Oh my God.
And they didn't know where, the millennials didn't know where to put it. The Gen Zs didn't know where to put it. They thought it belonged in the kitchen because they didn't know what it was.
A GameCube?
Yeah.
That's not even that old.
And it looks like a GameCube, right? And people would put it in the kitchen, and then they wouldn't be able to complete the level because the level would be like, that doesn't belong there, and it doesn't tell you much more than that. And so people were tweeting at the developers like, I don't know what this is. Where the fuck does it go?
That's amazing.
So yeah. Here's having a hard time figuring out what this is and where it goes. Please help.
What does it say? Remember all those memes about things that make you feel old and decrepit? Enjoy these tweets.
Right. Is what is this and why can't I put it in any of my rooms? So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
The children don't know what a GameCube is.
That reminds me when I was working. This was the first time I ever felt somewhat old, and this was very, very early on.
Yeah.
I was 19 and I was working in a movie theater, and this little like 7-year-old walked up to me. And he were like, I like video games. I'm like, oh, I love video games too. And we talked for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, my first console was the Nintendo, like the original Nintendo. And he's like, mine was the PS2. And I was just like, like I didn't know how to take that. I was 19 and I immediately felt old. I was like, what's happening to me?
Yeah.
It was fucking weird.
I even think for your age, having an NES as the first console is a little weird. Like
it was because it was I was the youngest of 5, and it was just the console that we had. I was told that the first game I ever played was Mega Man, but I have no recollection of it.
Yeah, I started with arcade games because there were no home consoles when I was a child. When I was very young, I think the first thing that we had was the Atari 2600 ripoff, the Gemini.
Oh, okay.
But it was mostly like if you wanted good graphics, you went to the arcade and shoved quarters into things. So anyway,
it's just going to keep happening as time goes on.
Yeah.
We're going to run into a 7-year-old who's like, my first game was the PS4 Pro. And I'm like, oh, Jesus.
Yep. No, I mean, seriously, like, there's a reason that Matt Muscles always uses the style at the time speech because there's that, and then there's the it'll happen to you. Like, that's the most prescient of all. Like, I'm constantly fascinated, Michael, at getting old, where I'm just like, this movie sucks. I've seen this before, and it's like, yeah, because you're old. Like, you've seen a lot of movies, so it takes a lot more to impress you. Whereas, like, children have not seen these movies before, and they're just like, wow, I've never seen that before. Cool. Like, maybe the reason I don't like Shang-Chi is because, you know, when I was a kid, like, I watched a shitload of martial arts movies. Like, I was a teenager when Jet Li first came to this country and started making movies like Rumble. I know that's not Jet Li, but
Rumble in the Box.
No, but like there was that time period where it was like Jackie Chan and
Jackie
Jet Li
Chan was my thing. I watched a lot of those movies,
and it's like, yeah, great. But now I have a really fucking high bar after watching years and years of, like, you know, Drunken Master and Ip Man and all.
I used to watching
people,
Jackie
like,
Chan break all of his bones jumping off of dumb shit,
right?
And now I have to watch like CGI people do it. And I'm like, this just doesn't feel as cool.
Yeah. So. Yeah, no, seriously, it'll happen to you. The one that I tell, nobody told me, and I will tell all of you right now, if you've listened all the way to the end of this podcast, here is my pro tip. Modern culture is marketed to people from 18 to 30. When you turn 31, and as you continue to get older, you start to look around and go, why isn't any of this appealing to me? And it's like, because you are not 18 to 30. You're too smart. They know that they can't trick you because they've already tricked you out of your money, and they know that you are too wary to get tricked again. So they're trying to make things to trick the youngs out of their money because they know that they're stupid and they have money to burn and that they can take it from them. So
that's true up to a point now, especially nowadays, because I'm 31 and I just finished talking about how I'm going to buy Avengers costumes.
True.
Also, I've spent $400, or I haven't technically spent $400 on a Proton pack that should be coming out next year.
True.
So, yes.
Very true. Anyway, that's it. Michael, tell the good people of the internet where they can find you.
You can find me on oneofus.net. There's a lot of movie and television reviews. And if you are brave enough, you can find a lot of the interviews I did for RTX because I'm still very proud of those old interviews. There's also a crossover event that Chris has started on there as well for One of Us, and he is very proud of it, and he would like more people to watch those.
Cool. Check it out. Check it out on the One of Us. No, Bell of Lost Souls YouTube channel.
Bell of Lost Souls has YouTube says that. You should be able to find it through either the Facebook for oneofus.net because he posts it on there.
Cool.
As well as the oneofus.net Twitter, which I don't know the full @ on that one.
All right.
Might just be One of Us.
And then, you know, mail at rageselect.com if you want to send any questions. I know that I would never get to them anymore. I'm trying, but there's a lot of news every week. Also, the Patreon. Whatever. We're done. You got your damn podcast. Are you happy now? I gotta go retreat back into my old man cave and go to sleep so I can come out and shake my cane at Marvel movies again next week. Get off my lawn.